Welcome to the Kevon Lee Show, where growth isn't motivational, it's intentional.
Man, I'm excited to have you.
Appreciate it.
I know I did your podcast. It went great. We were sitting there for about 2.5 hours, I think. And I met a lot of great people. Honestly, I haven't met too many people while trail running or even the running community until I got in contact with you. So I know a few of your people, they contact me, like they already know me, talk about, yeah, man, we got your back and stuff like that. So I really appreciate that. I'm excited for this conversation. I'm excited for next month, because next month is the big month that I've been planning for about 5 months. You plan all year, and we're gonna talk about that, okay?
Yeah.
So the first time I ever heard about your brand, and it was before I knew who you were. So it was before I knew the face behind the brand. I had did a 50-mile race in October of 2024. I did it, and I remember my camera guy, he was like, oh, what's next? And I said 100-mile race. And so I just said that after that 50-mile race, I was like, nah, I don't know if I'm gonna do a 100-mile race. But anyway, so around May of next year, so last year, I said, oh man, I want to do a 100-mile race. Like I was watching documentaries. I said, you know what? Let me do a 100-mile race. Let me see which ones are near. And so I went on to Ultra Sign Up. I said, oh, okay, there's one in Lake Paris, not too far. And then I seen the elevation. I said, the devil is a lie. Like there's no way I'm about to try to do that, especially the amount of training I have to do up until then. I think I could have done it, but I was like, no. So I found another one, and then that's how hard I seen that your race is. For the 100, I seen you had a 200, but it seemed very cool. So then, after I finished my 100-mile race, we got in contact somehow. I don't know. I know we had a mutual friend. I think she put us in contact. I don't know how it happened, right? But that's how I found out about your races. So I knew about your races before we even got in contact. I never said, you know what, I'm going to do this race. But our first DM, you was like, hey, here, boom, here go a code. If you sign up, it's going to be a great race. And so I was like, you know what, I'm up for the challenge, right? So I'm excited. Man, can you tell us a little bit about, I don't want to go into the backstory of your life yet, but your brand, like why is your brand called that?
So a lot of times, you know, machete, that's how you pronounce it, machete. So it's a machete.
Yeah.
It's to cut stuff or whatever. One interesting thing is that I don't know if every country where the origin of that type of tool is, but a machete is very common use in rural areas, farms and things like that, and that's where I grew up. So and then I can go back to that part. So it's kind of hard to like say how the brand came about without really telling you like how I ended up there. Like, the name itself, like Machete, is a very simple thing. I was working at the office, and at that time, play music on my desk. I don't know if you're familiar with reggaeton. Reggaeton is like that type of music, right?
Okay.
I think it probably originates from like Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic. It's like a mixture of both. And there was an artist that their record label is Machete Music. So interesting enough, and I didn't do it for that purpose, but if you see the colors of it, like which is black, white, red, that's kind of like what their label looks like, and it has two machetes.
Okay.
But in those songs, the artist will always, towards the end of the song, says Machete Music. Machete Music. And because of my co-workers that will always hear it specifically, who ended up turning out to be, down the line, my son's godfather, he just started calling me Machete. Because he would just overhear the Machete Music. So that's like Machete. But the name came about from, and like I said, I could share probably how I ended up even being in fitness. But essentially on the very first organized boot camp type of event that I did, one of my friends.
How many years ago was that?
This is, I would say about 13 years ago. Okay. When it kind of started. And if you were to see my social media at the time, once I started, once I lost the weight, once I was in a different space of mind. If you were following me on Instagram at that time, you will see me wearing a training mask, with some type of, I had a not holster, but you know, the ones where you pull like a sled. Yeah. But instead of a sled, I literally had a car tire. Not with the rim, but the tire itself. Drill some holes on it, and I would just go up the hills, up around the area of, I don't know if you're familiar with like Palos Verdes. Okay, that's like Redondo Beach, the South Bay area. And that's how people started noticing, like, what the hell is this guy, like, wearing training mask, just going up those hills carrying a tire, and they will see me at the beach doing burpees on the sand, doing all of that. So essentially, like, from the attention that I started getting on social media from losing all this weight and doing that kind of stuff, the name came about because a friend and a bunch of others who eventually joined me, he just looked at me and it was like cliffs, literally cliffs, like almost like sand dunes. And that's where I took all of them to do this workout to follow me. And the guy just said, "This is madness, man." And he's like, "Machete Madness." His name was Steve. And that's how so it's like Machete, that's what they call me. And madness is what we do. So it's Machete's Madness. It's Machete's Madness, but it's Machete Madness.
Yeah.
And then the trail stuff came about too.
Okay.
But that's the name.
Yeah. It's funny because my colors are the same thing. So mine is black, white, red, as you can see, and sometimes gray, right? And it kind of happened like that. I was talking to my mentor, and I was thinking about a brand that could really, that educators, students, that everybody could say, okay, I resonate with this brand. Because at first it was just Kevon Empowers. That's my business name, but nobody's gonna wear a shirt that says Kevon Empowers and stuff. Why would somebody wear that shirt, right? I'm not Louis Vuitton or Calvin Klein or Tommy Hilfiger. And so me and my mentor was going back and forth, and we got this crazy relationship. And then so I was like, man, I don't know what the heck I'm gonna say. He said, that's it right there. I said, what? He says, go make a difference. I'm like, where did you get that from? He said, hashtag go mad, because we was kind of like arguing. And so that's how go make a difference came. And everybody wants to wear it, right? Somebody see the shirt, they like, I need that shirt. Or if I wear the shirt almost every day. I'm in public and people say, hey, I love the shirt. Where did you get the shirt from and all that? So the brand is very important, right? And so you came up with your brand, you said like 13, 14 years ago. And so the community that you have, how did you build that? How did you get so many people to get onto your mission?
Well, the thing about it is like, I think now when you see, so I have like the overnight events that are called, everything goes along, you piggyback from the name Machete, right? Yeah. Anything Machete. Machete Recon, which is an overnight group event. Machete Trail Madness, everything just goes from the name of that. But the interesting thing, those did have some sort of thought of how to combine the name. But the Machete Madness name, it was never like a thought of like that it will be anything. Like I didn't sit there and I'm creating a business. I'm creating a brand. It was no thought of that. It was literally what people call me. Yeah. And the activity or the type of stuff that I did, that's what they call Machete Madness. But then the brand is just from there, it's like, okay, well, you know, we're going to do this next month again. And going back a little bit, how we even ended up with people doing that, what I was doing. I don't know if you get this, but now that you're doing ultras and stuff like that, I'm almost certain that people that see your stories or interact will probably say, oh, one day I want to do that. Yeah. Or next time invite me, things like that. Yeah. That's how you hear it, but nobody really ever is really rare the ones that join you. And like I said, always being straightforward, I always feel, sometimes I forget, like I assume like almost everyone knows me. So the way I talk to people, it's like very easy to connect with people. Yeah. Because they're following me obviously for the stuff that I do. So it's like common interest if that's why you follow me. Yeah. So I will get those messages all the time, bro. Like, you know, oh, those cliffs look awesome and those workouts look crazy, but I might want to try it. And people just always message me, DM me that stuff. And I will give them the info. No show up. And literally, I remember if I was to find it, I mean, the page that I had at the time, I think I deleted Instagram. I don't know what the hell. It was pretty big though. I got up to like 20,000 followers, but it was like organic. It was not like it was nothing like that. It was actual people, which it is. My page is the same way right now. And one day I literally made a video. I don't know exactly what it looked like because it was so long ago, but I literally like looked at the camera and said, all right. And I said, all you motherfuckers that are always telling me like, you know, and of course, like, I'm not trying to insult people, which is the way I talk to them. I was like, you know, you're always saying like, join me. All right, this is your chance Saturday, Redondo Beach, 5 a.m., show up and we're going to have some fun. And if you don't show up, stop reaching out to me about joining. And I just said it, but the way I talk, man, is like, it's sort of like joking, but it's also serious. It's like literally stop bugging me about it. Like you're gonna do my race, totally, you know. And that's what I put out a call out. We had about 50 people that showed up.
Oh wow! And just for that one post.
It was crazy, dude. People showed up, and I literally had them line up.
So did you even expect that, like 50 people to show up?
No, I don't know. I don't know how many. I don't know how many. And at that time, I was already had started doing Spartan races, obstacle racing. And I think it was in Joe DeCina, the founder's book. He talked about the dead race and events like that. And I think it was the mindset of like, how much are you willing to go without knowing the finish line, right? If you're doing a 5K, you know the 5K, you're going to be done.
Yeah.
If you're doing any distance, not the time, but the distance. But when I made the call out, I didn't put a time frame. I didn't put nothing. And I already had in my mind like, what I was going to do. I'm going to have them start off with burpees in the water, lock up arms. It was freaking cold in the morning. Like,
it sounded like hell week.
Yeah, basically. After that, I asked them to bring a sandbag empty, fill it up with sandbag. That thing was probably 30, 40 pounds, depends how much you put it. And everybody goes their sandbags and they follow me into those cliffs. And we go on and off, and in my mind, I didn't have a time frame. I was like, basically when I see that people are now willing to quit, then that's when we stop.
Okay.
So once it went like 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours,
man.
and like, okay, now we're into 7 hours. And then I just ended it right there. Because I was like, I can see that like although you guys that show up, you're willing. Yeah. You're not just talking about it, you're willing to do some shit, right?
Yeah.
And from there on, the next month, they pitched like, oh, you should do this again. And then like, okay. Then we do it, and people hit me up from like, I forgot where we went next, but we ended up going to San Francisco, Fresno, Seattle.
And is that the event that you just did about a month ago?
That's like what you saw, like the overnight stuff.
Yeah.
That's like the kind of event, like more like a group event. It's not a trail. The trails came about I would say 8, 9 years ago.
Okay.
So it's a little later. But it's almost like a mixture because it's still a trail race, but it has my personality. So again, going back to like how you come up with the names, how to brand. Honestly, everything has grown up like organically.
Yeah.
Like there hasn't really been like everything does have obviously a thought process and a goal now, even with the names and the logos and everything. But I think everything has come out like I don't know how to even explain it. It's kind of like if you're making a road, and as you go, almost kind of like the trails, the way they where we do our races is very remote in the sense that you have the lake, which is very popular, like Paris, for people to come, hang out in the summer and do all of that. And there's Terry Peak, where most local hikers go there, but I wouldn't even say it's like crazy popular. And then you go to the back of it where we do it. It was basically mainly like animal trails already. And you kind of see, and little by little, kind of, run more. And the more you run in areas, they start opening up a little bit. I've kept them clean from trash and all of that. So even that trails, it was not like when a lot of the races, you'll see that, have you noticed that the elevation gain, a lot of times is way off?
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Because they go on Strava or another system and they create a route with the computer.
Yeah,
and it's not them running.
Yeah, okay.
When you go to my race, you're running what I ran many times.
Okay.
So that means that I'm going there, and then I'm going to convert that route into an actual segment.
Yeah,
so
because your race, man. So it's 62 miles or 60?
It would be around that. Yeah, for the 100K, yeah, it's like a little bit over 61, 62.
Okay. So 100K. 13,200 feet of gain. Man, I'll be mad if it's 13,500. I'm like, oh man, because even at that point, you think, oh, it's only 300 feet. When you get to that point of a race, 300 feet feels forever. But I'm super excited for it. Like I said, the first time you told me about it, you said, hey, you just finished this race. You should come do our race. It's super hard. Man, I signed up that very night. I said, you know what? I want to challenge. I want to challenge myself. I've been working extremely hard. I did a race with a couple of people on your team. It was super fun. I actually got a race this coming Saturday, so we're going to see how I do. But okay, so over the years, is this probably your best, I would say your best year for this race, like the most people that signed up, and because I know it's getting more popular as the time goes. Because I know at first people see the race and it's intimidating. I'm not gonna act like okay, I know I'm not gonna quit, but it's not one of those races where I'm like, I know I'm gonna finish. Like, no, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those races where it's like, okay, in order for me to finish, I'm gonna have to give it everything I have. And so that's why I signed up, because I know it's a challenge. So do you think people steer away because of that?
Yeah, some do, but essentially filters out, I'm not trying to like single out people. I'm not trying to like say this race not for you. That's for you to make the call. But if you read Ultra Sign Up, what it literally says this is one of the hardest ultras, if not the ones that you will find.
It's funny, I seen that.
We're excluding obviously the Barclays is on mark, unsupported. That's a whole different animal. But typical your normal, whatever normal is, an ultra. Yeah, this is gonna be the hardest, and I'll break it down like why is one of the hardest, and it's like right at the top. It tells you why.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I put in there, if you're looking for an easy race,
this ain't it.
Not it. If you're looking to PR, it's not it. But if you're looking for some shit that is gonna push you and beyond like what you think physically and mentally, then this is it. And essentially, when it comes to like numbers and what was the best year or whatnot. I always kind of knew like the sweet spot that I wanted. It was around 150 people. Another thing that I have experienced, and when we go back, how many races? I'm easily over 200 races, ultras. I've done a half Ironman,
Spartans,
Deca, cross. Yeah. I mean, anything that you can think of fitness, I've done it.
Yeah.
But when you look at all of that stuff, one thing that I have experienced at a couple races is that there's so many people on some of them, like 300 or plus, that. Many moments you're literally standing on a line looking up a trail. Have you ever seen, UTMB, right?
Yeah. Oh, UTMB is it like thousands out there?
A couple thousand.
Yeah.
Have you seen what that looks like where they're just standing there with their headlamps and they're just not walking. they're like walking slow and just waiting at this huge line.
Yeah. So, and it's different from a marathon because at a marathon you can have 20,000 people.
You got a road.
Exactly. You got a road, so like everybody spreads out. But on a trail,
single track. Too.
Exactly.
And so then with me, when it came about it, it's like outside of the business and anything, it's more the experience. So what I want people to experience, what I just told you, I want people to experience what I experienced, which means when I moved out to Moreno Valley 9 years ago, and I was like, it was not really for, there's a lake. I want to live there. Yeah. I want to buy a house there for that. No, that wasn't. It just happened to be, shit, there's a lake there. Let me go explore it. So every trails is places where I ran, where I explored, and I would look at something like, damn, that looks awesome, like hard as hell, but is there even a trail there? Then I started again, like I said, exploring things, following like what the animals follow. So essentially where you're running, that's where like the freaking deer run. That's really their area.
Appetite,
and that's kind of where we know. And you don't really disturb. It's a big place, man. I do everything to take care of this place. But again, going back to the numbers and stuff, it's like I want you to experience the challenge, but also to be enjoyable. So if you get into bigger numbers and stuff, and you don't cap that race at a certain number, you won't get the same experience. And it is a good amount of people. 100 people is a lot of runners, man.
No, it is.
And that's across the different distances. And I'll share with you a little interesting fact as how it's divided. But to answer your question, last year, Dia de los Muertos, which is Day of the Dead, and it's like a celebration of our people that are no longer here, that passed away, and it's a celebration. Of course, losing people, and we all experience that. In our family, we lost several close people in the last year, and so last year it was even more powerful. Yeah, because I got to put their picture in there, and that sucked. But the whole thing is to honor them. Yeah, and we're celebrating life too, because it's a privilege that you can freaking run that. It's a privilege that you can run 100 miles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I tell people that all the time.
It's a privilege. So then when, I think this past Dia de los Muertos, which again, it happens in, October. Dia de los Muertos is around Halloween. It's the same days. I think everything that I envisioned and what I thought about this race, it became a reality. Yeah. The feel of it, the feel of sort of like a big race. Yeah. I put a lot of thought into like the buckles, the finisher shirts. Like mine is not just a real t-shirt. My stuff is like almost like soccer jerseys. Yeah. It's like so all of that, the look of it, I guess. It looked what I wanted to, the feel of it, the amount of people. You could literally see it on their freaking face, bro. Especially those that were doing the 200-miler, the 100-miler. You can just see the anticipation. And just that way everything was flowing. This year, about a year ago, when you met him, Chris, you met him at the race. Yeah. He was handling the station. His family, and for the first time, I actually allowed someone to kind of like have some say as far as like he handles basically the volunteering stuff, aid stations. And help me. Yeah. Because it's just too much. So little by little he came on the picture and we had 156 people. Yeah. So essentially when you're asking like what's the most popular, all the years we all had over 100 people. Okay. But like it was just a number, but like almost like what did those numbers mean? Like 150 just people? No, we had 150 people that were there to do business, man.
Yeah. So and that's what I like about your brand and even who you are, right? I'm talking about the first time we text each other. I felt like we knew each other.
Yeah.
You were super nice, super kind, very honest. You wasn't gonna sugarcoat it, and so and that's the thing, right? That's how. I always tell people when I do these races, people be like, man, like you. So I did a 5K yesterday. I just did it for fun. I was supposed to do it with my brother-in-law, but he ended up having work, so he canceled on me. And I just did it, right? They was like, was it hard? I was like, no, it's just a 5K. Like even though it was hard because I went full speed the whole time. It's a different type of hard. But I always tell people like anything a marathon and under, I do it for fun.
Right.
When I do an ultra, I do it to suffer. Yeah. Because, and how you said, right, it's a privilege. People always ask me, man, why do you do that? Like,
do they pay you?
Yeah, like, do they pay you? Like, you're paying to run? There's no way I'm going to pay. How much do you pay? I'm like, the most I ever paid for a race was about $500. They about to lose their mind. That's a car note. But like how you said, it's a privilege to literally see what your body and mind is made up of. Because I'm telling you, it does not matter if it's a 50K, a 50 mile, or a 100-mile race. They all really hard, and you're always gonna have that point. It's like you never doubt yourself, but you're like, it would be nice to, just to end this race real quick, but always push it through because your body's gonna hurt regardless. Your body's gonna hurt. I always think of it like this. My body's gonna hurt at one point, but my mind is still strong. So my mind will keep going as long as I'm willing to push it. And so, I'm very excited for this race. I don't know what to expect because I seen the percentages. I know it's hard. I seen Rocky who won last year. Because for the race, for 62 miles, you're giving us 30 hours. And I remember I said,
you were
why?
Yeah, why? What was your time prediction you were telling me? You won it? First time we talked?
Yeah, I think I said I wanted like 18 hours or something. And you was like, I can see you getting between 20 and 24. And I said, hold up. It's going to take me 24 hours to do 60. I would be mad. But now that I see the specifics of it, the elevation, not just the elevation gain, but the percentage of it, the technicality of it, I'm like, you know what? I just want to finish at this point.
I'll give you an example. You asked me, how was it yesterday, whatever, and I just jokingly said it was carnage.
I told my wife about that. I asked her, I said, hey, I told him, how was it? He said carnage. I was like, carnage. Like,
so check this out. So yesterday, again, people have the digital map. Yeah. It's not like a full-on race, so I'm not going to have my signs up.
Yeah.
Initially, I was not even going to put like any, as far as aid stations, like at mile 6, which is right before the second climb, what we call Machete 2.0. But, we knew it was going to get in the 90s. It's like crazy as weather, but anyway, so at the end of the day, even if it's like something that you're doing voluntarily, you want to go do it, I still have an obligation, responsibility, morally, to do anything I can to take care of my people, man, of myself. And not just my people, those are my friends. My girlfriend literally did the 20-mile loop yesterday.
Man.
So it's like...
How did she feel? Was that her first time doing a loop?
Nah, she's done that one.
Okay.
She was the first one to do it because she's with me. So it's like when we make that route, she was with me.
So this 20-mile route is a new route?
Yeah, it's a year old.
A year old. Okay.
But this is the first time that the 100K is doing that one. So they first did it in October, which was the first time. Before that, it was the original 10-mile loop.
So last year when Rocky won, he didn't do this loop for the 100K.
No. So we don't really know the times like how. But you see, this is the thing, that the time is it can be, you look at the numbers, as a matter of fact, last year's, if you're doing the 10-mile loop for 6 times, it's actually a little bit more gain. But I don't think it's easier. Even though this 20-mile loop has less gain by, I don't know, a couple hundred, it's not easier.
Yeah.
And I tell you why. And this is like, just so you know, the way my route is, it's literally like custom made for how I think. So when I'm out there running, hiking, I think what's the next step and what can I do to make it hard and what can I do to almost deceive you like this is easy now and how can I just punch it right back and get you back to reality like it sucks. So on the 10-mile loop, you gradually do like maybe a mile and a half of like just gradual, nice climbing. Then you hit basically 1,000 feet in the next mile. And it's a rough climb. You see some beautiful views. Then when you come in, it's like this very technical but runnable downhill.
Okay.
And then from there on, you're like 3-4 miles if you're doing the 10-mile loop, about 3 miles before you hit the next climb. If you're on the 20-mile loop, you're going to go from mile 3 to mile 8. That's 5 miles of relatively flat.
Okay.
And mind-wise, what you're gonna do, a lot of people are gonna go hard right there fast. Once they come back and hit the second climb, the Machete 2.0, that's another 1,000 feet of climbing.
Man.
But all the climbing is compacted into a short area.
Yeah.
And when you come down, people think of the descent. That's the first thing you're gonna look at. You're gonna look at a graph, right? It looks like this, look like this. You're like, oh, I'm gonna make up some time and it's downhill. First of all, I done it just for fun. Like we done it where we try to get the crowns like on the Strava, like the fastest.
Yeah.
I had the fastest one at one point, and I'm definitely not the fastest, but I can freaking I can bomb down hills, so I can go fast. But I wouldn't run that way in a race because if you do that, then you're done. So that's what ends up happening. People sometimes go hard on these downhills, and so for some people, they can't run those at all.
Yeah.
They need to like
downhills is so technical. You think like, okay, downhill, I'm about to push it. And you can, but after a certain amount of time, it destroyed your quads.
The video that you put out, remember I was laughing on your post? Not laughing like in that way, but from, I think it's from Tejon.
Yeah.
And you said something about, what did you say about like the downhill?
Oh man, like I literally said this was the hardest thing ever. I said I got to reevaluate before I do this again.
So, I'm telling you, I know the climbing, the downhill, this is different because you're talking about, I think it kind of looked like you were going like this.
Yeah. No, yours is like.
It's not hugging the damn mountain, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I seen it.
There's some areas where you're literally, for the ones that are very, very like don't have no technical at all. Some will actually, some areas where they will sit on the floor to get down. So it's more of that, though.
Yeah.
And the thing now with the 20-mile loop, again, is like moving forward. Now we're at on the 20-mile loop. Now we're at a mile 9-ish, 9.5. So what's next? Do I send them down this straight road into all the way down to Bernasconi, or do I go explore into this other mountain and see? And that's when I added 3.0. And that one, less than half a mile from you doing Machete 2.0, which is tough, you climb one that is probably in many ways tougher and way more technical.
Yeah.
So by the time you do those back-to-back climbs and you already did the third climb, you're pretty much like,
cooked.
Your legs are cooked.
Yeah.
So the best thing that I've been telling you and telling others, like, don't have expectations. Just the first loop should be almost like scouting, your first loop. More like go on the conservative side.
Yeah.
It's hard because you see people
pushing
going out hard, and some you might even know them, and you know them well. Like, dude, I smoke this dude.
Yeah.
Like, but you gotta let them go. You just go do your thing, and then after the first loop, then you can kind of gauge what am I gonna do in those two next loops. You know what I mean? You might feel when you come back from lap one, like, how the hell am I gonna go do this 2 more times?
Yeah.
That's mentally, and that's where the mental part is difficult, because if you're doing 100K around one loop, you're not gonna see those climbs again. You might see another one, but you're not gonna see that. And many times I was telling someone, Ramiro, you talked to Ramiro, he won a 200 miler, and he hasn't been running for like many years. He's kind of new to ultras, and he won a 200 miler.
That's crazy.
And he said yesterday, what did he say? He's like, hey bro, like, shit, I'm thinking of the 200, and it's like, damn, I don't know, I forgot his words, but essentially he was saying that he felt even more proud of himself doing the 20-mile loop again yesterday, because he had not done it since he won the 200.
Okay.
And at that time, he did it 10 times, mind you.
Yeah.
He did that loop 10 times already. He has muscle memory. He'd done it 10 times. But then his time is like, shit, now that I just did it again, it's like, damn, how am I going to do that? And I told him, sometimes ignorance is a blessing, because you don't know, and now you know.
Yeah.
So now you're like, shit. So, but everything in the course, it has its purpose. Why it has. It's not like a course that has been there and I found that I just made a race. No. I literally, like, our trails is
created it.
It's custom made the way everything like it is. And again, as far as like, going way back as far as popularity, I don't really think of that, man, or what is it meant to be successful. I think I find, in a way, success at the races is if there's just one person that got something out of this more than just a medal, that it maybe, they're struggling, they're going through some life stuff. And that's literally how my stuff came about, from my life experiences. Yeah. I ended up in there. I was just even telling my sister's boyfriend this morning, we're talking, they're going to do my 10K. Most of my family, they haven't done. My parents have done some of my distances.
Oh, wow.
But now my brother, sisters, my brother and my sister and her boyfriend, they're all doing the 10K.
Cool.
Right? So we're just talking about it and just what they respect and whatnot. And And what I told him is that, dude, like, it's so much work to put on these races, time and everything.
Yeah.
Even money, man. I put, you know, even if I was looking at it, it's like, how much more money can I make out of this particular? Well, I definitely should keep the same medal I had, and I'm not going to add buckles, because that's another $3,000 expenditure. But guess what? Like, I'm going to get those damn buckles.
Yeah.
This freaking race is hard.
Yeah.
I want them to get a buckle for $100K.
Yeah. No, like, and it's interesting that you had said this, but what I learned, because the first ever ultra I didn't even do a marathon yet. I just went straight to a 50-mile race.
Nice.
So the first one I ever did, I was in top 5 for like the first 10 miles. And that's where I messed up, because I just went out, like all gas, no brakes. And I ended up being like one of the last 3 to finish. That finished. Some people did DNF. But I said, man, I need to learn from this. And so this last one, and I've done a few since then, but this last one I did, I remember at first I said, okay, I know where the big climb is. I know where the downhill is. I know where I could, push it because it's going to be flat. But I'm going to be conservative for like the first 13 miles, I said I'm going to be conservative. And then I just see people pass me, like people just passing. And then in your mind, you think like, man, I don't want this. You get competitive, right? Even though you like, I just want to finish, I want to push myself, you get competitive. Anyway, so these same people that passed me, I end up passing them, and they finish hours behind me.
Right.
And so it's if you're new to it, definitely you have to learn that it's okay to start off slow, right? And if you're somebody who's doing these all the time, then it's okay to start off slow, because you want to save your legs on the back end, because you don't know how your body's going to be reacting. Because people probably only think like, oh, what if you just get tired? I mean, there's so many things that can happen out there, to the point where you can't even eat, you can't drink. Like there was a race. That's a
big one.
Exactly, like literally towards the end of all my ultras, I would say it's hard for me to consume anything, because your body's pushing for so long, so hard. I've never had any stomach issues, but I didn't have the sensation of, I need to eat. Right. And so I will either not eat at all, and which is horrible, don't do that, or I will like force down to jail, but it gets hard, right? And so no, I think that's cool. Even your girlfriend, because y'all did a 50-mile race together. Is she gonna do a race?
She's doing the 100K with you.
She's doing the 100K? Yeah. Okay. Hey, that's so cool that you really, so before you, did she even know about this, or was she even into this, or you brought her into it? Because I know she's into fitness as well.
Yeah, I think she's, I learned a lot from her. I mean, when it comes to discipline, her nutrition, everything, she's a coach. She's a personal trainer.
Yeah.
So obviously her own body, her own image, her own things that she does, discipline, all of that, it's like her body of work, right? Like that's what she offers to, and I think if you ever coach people or been any kind of a personal trainer, it's way more than that, almost like life coaches, bro. Because one thing that people come into fitness and stuff, and again, it comes from personal things that are going on. I think if your life is perfect, you're in the greatest shape, life is good, you have no adversities, most people are not going to seek anything, though. It's like, we do things to get in better shape, better health, whatnot. But when I met her, she already had done Spartan races herself.
Okay.
So she had a little background on that, but I believe trail races, she did things like half marathons and stuff like that, but not ultras. But the thing about it is, like, I never asked her to do any of them. Like, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to convince anyone, bro. Yeah. Because I'm going to tell you, they're going to hate you when they're out there. They got to do it because they want to do it. I don't convince, like...
I'm not going to lie, I convinced somebody to sign up.
No, I mean, of course I have done that, but what I mean by that is, like, yes, we're convinced.
They got one to do.
But there's something that they want to do. That's why they sign up, right? But what I'm saying is, like, if it's your partner, you can't push them to, like, do this, do this. No, because it's just not gonna. No, they gotta do it themselves. Because even yesterday on that trail run, and I'll share what happened yesterday. But going back with her, like I went and did some stuff that I wasn't doing, like. More on the, I did a high rocks with her. Okay. Like, not with her, but like she competed. Yeah. She's faster than me on that stuff. Like, and same thing, I didn't push her in there. Of course, I have my own races, but that's actually how we met. Like, she signed up for one of my 12-hour events. Oh. And she'll tell you, I mean, I can't speak for her, but I mean, it's just like, with your wife, like, you talk, and sometimes you could literally repeat how they talk. Yeah. You learn how they are. And she, like I said, I think she's very wise and very, like, spiritual, and I love learning from her, too. But one thing I know for a fact she says is that she's not going to do nothing just because somebody told her to do. She's going to do things that are calling her. Like, why am I going to do this? And that's how she did my 12-hour event, and that's how we met. So she did my endurance stuff, which from there on, we didn't date it before the event. I guess the deal was, like, I met you because of your event, and I want to keep things completely separated until after the event, and then we'll see. And I thought after doing my event, she ain't gonna hang out. She's gonna hate me because I haven't do all. Because on those recons, I mean, I made him freaking go on a barefooted hike at one point at 3 a.m. At one point, I have him do army crawl.
What? I'm gonna have to do this one year. I'm gonna have to come up there. I'm gonna have to come and do it.
It's the craziest look.
I gotta convince my wife, but I'm gonna have to come.
Dude, it's safe, bro. You know,
ain't nobody died.
Thank God. No, not.
Yeah.
Like even hurt. I mean, people are hurting, but not nobody that where he needed some attention. In 12 years, nothing.
Okay.
You know, knock on wood, everything's good. But at one point, I think they're doing bear crawls. So basically, we were marching down, and was like the urban version. We did it in Gilroy. Not this time was not in the woods. It was like in the city. We started off at a gym, CrossFit gym, and I literally had him do 2 hours of Zumba. It's random shit, dude. Like you see my videos and you're thinking like, yeah, shit looks like hell week. But now you're in some gym with a rug, and I'll have you dancing around with some lady doing Zumba for 2 hours, which sucks. Yeah. It's hard. And then from there on, we're marching down the city, going to some park. And they kept screwing up. They kept walking, talking, whatever. And I don't have a background in the military. I was never in it. I always loved the discipline of it. Yeah. And I always read books about it. But it's very similar, kind of like the discipline part. Like you can't just walk around like all loose. Everybody's in their own place. It's like you stay together. It looks like you know what you're doing. Like you're organized. And they kept screwing up. And I don't even know who it was, but they kept talking. And I stopped them right. I said, all right, let's do we call it a tunnel of love. Hike plank, and now everyone one by one, you're gonna get under the damn trunk and crawl. Yeah. But were they doing that? It was raining, so it's a freaking sewers line. Like basically, it's that side of the wheel. All kinds of crap is going down there. Like, and then I remember catching the eye like that. She looked at me. She's in there doing this shit, and by then this is the first time she meets me. But of course we don't know each other like that way. But yeah, so I didn't know what was gonna happen after that. And, 2 years later, because we're together, and that's how to answer the question. She signed up for her first, a couple different races, and she did my 50K last year. Okay. She did it, got it done, and of course it was a challenge. Yeah. But actually before that, I take it back. One of the Dia de los Muertos, she did a 10-miler, but then she went on her own after the race to do another 10-mile loop to get those 20 miles and see how it felt. And then she signed up for the 50K to
and now she's doing 100
after doing Anza Borrego.
Okay, and so next is 100 miles.
I think she's really, it's very difficult when, like, to go between disciplines. Okay. Because when you're thinking of aesthetics, the way you eat, keeping muscle, ultras is the opposite of that. Exactly. It's just screwed. It messes with recovery. And as we all get older, like myself, I'll be 47, she's 40 right now. It's just her recovery is just way different. So I think she's, again, I can't speak for her, but I think she's really, she's really thinking, and I don't think she has 100 miles in her mind. But if like in her own words, if it comes to her that's what she wants to do, she'll do it. Yeah. But going back to what happened yesterday, I worry, man, about everybody, not just her. But it was rough, though. People were all over the place. Some people that were going to do the 20-mile loop. If you look at some of the stuff they tagged me, next thing you know, they created their own races. It's like they did 13 miles. They skipped that one. They skipped that. At the race, you don't skip nothing. Everything's marked, and you're there for that. You follow a course. Here, people, I'm not gonna, you feel like you don't want to climb that and you want to call it a day and go back to the campground where we're hanging out. And people did a lot of that, but at one point her phone died, and I already knew that going up to mile 13 where we have a Bernasconi station, not just her, and this is where it was kind of crazy when I say carnage. I'm getting blown up on my phone, man. I always tell people something's going on, hit me up. And at this point, I don't even know where the hell, but I was on top of 2.0. Which I had just climbed I think I climbed 7,000 feet this week. Yeah. Of those, up and down, doing what I was doing, my thing to get ready. So I decided, I want to, and I haven't even posted the videos, but I got people going about Machete por 2.0, and then I'm sitting there just catching up a little bit on people tagging me and just soaking in the day, bro. It's freaking hot, it's nice. A freaking snake just passed by me. I'm just chilling. And I start getting messages. Oh man, I ran out of water. How far more is the aid station that you guys set up? Everything I already put it out there, but they're still asking, right? Yeah. Okay, it's a couple more miles. Where you at right now? This and that, including a message from my girlfriend. I ran out of water after 3.0, and I think we're not in the right place. And I said, send me your location, and I see they're by the freaking water. They're not in the right place. And then I get another text from somebody else, but she did say her phone was running low. But I get a message from somebody else saying, this is Victoria. We're here sitting under this little shade that we found. I'm with Adan or another guy. Anyways, and then I'm like, okay, well, I guess her phone died. And she's telling me, this is Victoria from another.
Yeah.
No, it's a different Victoria. So I freaking get on the bike, and I have this electric bike that I try to use to be able to be all over the place.
Yeah, to get there fast.
During the race, I have an off-road vehicle that I rent and that I use. But yesterday, I'm in this thing, and the damn thing died, man. So what you know about those electric bikes is like, when they're powerful, but you're moving. But when the thing's not working, it's a heavy-ass bike. It's a heavy bike. So then I finally get to these people, and I'm like, okay, that's not Victoria. And it's like, oh, my name is Victoria. I'm like, oh, crap. But anyways, I was going to help them regardless. I gave him the water. Then finally, Chris tells me that Victoria passed by, and she's found the aid station, and then they go off. Then I get a message when I think she's in the middle of Terry Peak, which is the fourth climb. And again, this is weird in the 90s, though, with people being seeing snakes all day.
Yeah.
And then she tells me I'm feeling ill. I have a headache, probably dehydrated.
Yeah, dehydration.
And my phone's about to die.
Oh,
and I'm now back to the picnic area, the home base.
Yeah.
And I'm running on fumes, bro. I've been all week. I'm tired, but it's like, okay, let me see if I could charge this freaking bike a little bit. Drive with my truck to the baseline on the other side of Terry Peak, because there's no access on cars or nothing. And then the very end of the Terry Peak, it's like super technical, dude. It's just like, it's not a freaking pad, it's hard. But this is my thought process was like, okay, I got a pack. I got my pack with some drinks for her and whoever else I encounter. And when I'm going up, I'm pushing the bike because I need to conserve the battery so that when I get into there's a fire road, then if she's all the way to Terry Peak, then I can make it there with the bike powered, and then I can walk back down with her.
Okay.
So I'm pushing the freaking bike, bro. In the middle, like, this thing is hard, like, and I get to her before I hit the road. She was already there, and I give her some stuff, and she was good. She's like, I want to finish it. This is one lap.
Oh, and we don't know how it's going to be made. Yeah, we don't know how it's going to be made.
I learned from every race, every course preview I learned, and I noticed that for ourselves, like the times, I think maybe 2 or 3 times that Victoria has run it with me, oh, they were suffering every time. It's never been like, oh, chill, we did a 20-mile loop. No, that 20 mile was hard, though.
Yeah.
But we done it self-supported. But we know now that it's like, if it's a warm day, by the time you get to Bernasconi, though, at mile 13, you're gone, though. You don't have nothing else. Even if you have a 3-liter bladder and all this stuff, you're gone. So what I'm thinking of doing, besides the full aid stations that we have at mile
have like
8,
mini ones?
Yeah, so yesterday what we did, I was not going to have it, but I did. I put basically like a self-supported, I put some cold water on the jug and an extra one. So I put it basically like a water supply. And it's covered in the little shade. And I put that instead of a full, because it's not the race. So at the full race, you're going to have the full aid station. If it's a hot day, if it's not, we'll see. I might still add it anyways.
Yeah.
But mile 6 for the 10 milers or mile 8 for you, we'll have a full aid station. Then when you come back, the thing about it is from there, you climb 2 big climbs right there.
Yeah.
And that's where it takes a lot of your resources, energy, food, drink, whatever. So I'm thinking of putting one right when you come down from 3.0. It's only like a 2-mile stretch to get to Bernasconi, but it seems like even like yesterday, that's where most people were like just running out of everything. So if I move the little water station underneath there's actually a big, huge rock that it has a plaque, and if you read it, it actually is natives. It's like artwork that they used to do. So it's like a history thing. It's like a big rock. I think I'm gonna put a water station there. Okay. So then that should give you a little. To get to the aid station. And then from the aid station, you got 7 more miles to go. Yeah. So you learn from that. But that's to get you an idea, because she's doing the 100K, right? Yeah. But I asked her, like, if you had to do yes or 2 more laps, like, she told me, in her mind's like, there's no way I could go do 1 more. But I was telling her too, one thing that I discovered for myself is that when you're doing these races, if you already know that you're going for 20 miles, then that's going to be like your ceiling. Yeah. Your ceiling is that. It's like a gas tank, you get me? Yeah. And I don't know how to perfect that, but I've been trying to. I've been trying to do races where like if it's like a 50K, that in my mind says somehow I can fool it to think that it's 100K.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Like honestly, even when I say, okay, I'm gonna go to trails, I'm gonna do 10 miles, right? 10 easy miles. I get to mile 7, I'm like, man,
exactly.
I'm gassed.
80%, it's like about 70-80% of whatever distance you pick.
Yeah.
Your brain just tells you because
for some reason.
Always does.
But then like when I did the 100-mile race, I got to mile 33. I'm like, we still fresh.
You're not even thinking about
You're not even
You're
thinking.
so far.
I done an ultra, a 50K already. I'm like, we're fresh. Like I'm in the middle of this. It didn't start getting hard for my 100-mile race, like super hard to the point I couldn't even run anymore until like after mile 90. I couldn't even run. It took me 4 hours to do 11 miles or something. But oh man, I'm so excited for this race. I know it's gonna be challenging. I got my ice bandana just ready, just in case it's gonna be hot.
But pause on that. The main guy at Lake Paris, the boss, John, he said that he follows this guy on social media or on YouTube. He's like a weatherman, whatever, but not like an official, more like a hippie dude or whatever. And he's very dead on like sudden changes of weather. Somehow, I don't know if it's going to be accurate, but that supposedly there might be a storm from here to the race. So you could literally we're talking about snacks and the heat, and next thing you know, you get a freaking rainy day.
Yeah.
It could be anything.
You never know. It could be, what they call it, April showers or May showers?
I don't know. Weird. Like, so it could be
know.
anything, but I think it's mentally everything, man. Because like I tell people it's sort of like if you look at a gas thing, right? And anything like that has volume, a bucket full of water, a gas tank, eventually it gets to the E.
Yeah.
In ultra running, you get to the E all the time.
Yeah, you get to you running on film.
Guess what? So the thing about it is like if you think about your 100-miler, your 50-miler, what's past total fatigue? What's past dehydration? What's past pain? Everything has sort of like a cap.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can't hurt anymore. Like this sucks from 30 miles ago. It sucked.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get. So you just have to find ways to keep you going, and in a safe way. If you're not consistently hydrating, and I'll
that's the biggest thing.
I think I shared with you. So I talked to you about doing the Ansa Borrego with her. Mind you, I had ran 20 miles a month before though. So just to get it roll out of bed to do 50 miles, even though I'd done it many times.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be with her, and instead of being glad that I did because we're the last ones on the freaking race.
Yeah.
Ansa Borrego freaking desert. There's nothing there. So I'm with her. But only a couple of weeks later, I signed up for the freaking Cold Water Rumble 100K. Injured myself. But one thing I did learn again, and we don't stop learning, even though, like I said, I'm probably well over 200 races total, is that I don't know why, man. I would do weird shit like I did Catalina 50 mile one time. I did the first 26 miles fasted. So how the hell I'm not gonna do nothing but water, and I was dope. I felt all day. When I hit like mile 27, I was like, oh god.
I bet.
so I don't know. I just like to push my body certain ways. But as I'm getting older, I'm not trying to do this shit no more. So I call water rumble because I freaking got hurt, and now I'm just literally walking the last 40 miles.
Yeah.
I was grubbing, dude. I was eating at every aid station, fruit, whatever. And next thing you know, my recovery, my sleep, and everything from that race, even though I was injured. It was like almost like I didn't run. So the key though, you have to put in because you're burning like look at your Garmin. My Garmin's tell me that every 12 night that I went out there that I was dropping about 2 liters of sweat or whatever. So you have to you got to put it back.
Replenish exactly.
So yesterday in like 20-mile loop, I'm sure people were dropping like 3 to 4, no more, maybe like 4 liters.
Yeah, it was hot too.
But if you're not putting those 4 liters back, you're already in dehydration. Then you can tell when you're taking a piss, like you're gonna see it's cold.
So one of the things is I know for me. This last race that we did, that a lot like 10 people from your team did. It had got hot. And mind you, running is 80 degrees. 80 degrees is hot when you're running. I don't care what nobody say. 80 degrees is super hot on the trails, fire road. It's very hot, right? And I noticed around like mile 20, I said, oh shoot, I have not peed yet. So I was getting nervous. I was like, I have not peed. So I peed. I looked at my pee. I said, okay, it's still good. Yeah. Because they say, you don't want rhabdomyolysis and all that. You got to worry if your pee is like super dark brown. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Couple days, that evening and the day after, my pee was not looking good. But of course, I had to rehydrate and stuff like that. So I mean, I was good. But yeah, like my thing, like what I did during that race, I made sure I was hydrated. So I had two bottles in my hand. No, I had one bottle in my hand, the two things, because I didn't know. What if and then at one time I actually ran out. So I was like, oh shoot, I ran out, but the aid station was like a mile away. Mm-hmm. But one thing I want to talk about, because we haven't even got into it yet, this mindset you're not born with it, right? Mm-hmm. You're not born with this mindset. So what made you, because to do 200 races, to even make a race like this, for people to believe in your mission, you got to be built different, right? I mean, even when I first met you, I'm like, yeah, this guy, he doesn't play his mindset. I love it. That's how we bonded so well. But how did this mindset start? Because I know it wasn't always like this. How did it start?
I mean, it goes back to my childhood, man. So I grew up in Mexico, in the state of Zacatecas, in a rural place, man. It's a small, beautiful. I have a home over there, but when I grew up, I was there until I was 11. And just so you get a picture of like how you grew up over there, I recently reposted a video of these kids playing with a freaking snake. That's basically your entertainment, man. We weren't playing freaking video games. We're playing soccer, man. We're going out to the trails. We don't call it, we're going hiking. You literally step out of your house, you're hiking. There's everything is there, rivers and things like that. And,
total different life.
And growing up at that time, just so you get an idea of what it is, we weren't poor, man. My dad always came out here when he was like 18. And he always worked for his family. Mm-hmm. And then he also, when he married my mom, she's always been a hustler too. She said, if you send me money to open up like a little, in Mexico it's very common that you have little grocery stores. But when I mean grocery store, it's like this. Yeah. Like you walk in the door, this is the store. And he has every little bit of everything. So my mom always had that, and so she was always busy with that. She had me working there, and I'm talking about when I'm like 6, 7. Mm-hmm. She had me charging whatever, and I'll do that. But for the most part, I was out there playing soccer, looking for freaking snakes to either put hay in their holes and fucking put fire on this thing. I don't know what I did. I was a little shit, man. Like, I was messing with the animals, doing all these things. That's how you grow up. Yeah. And just so you know, at that time, we didn't even have toilets, bro. Like, when it came down to use a bathroom, you go out into the freaking outside. Like, you go outside in the back of your house, whatever.
So you didn't have indoor plumbing when you were younger?
No, there was plumbing for the water, but there was no damn toilet, bro. Like, but what I'm getting is, like, it wasn't poor. It was just...
That was the way of life.
In communities, they built little by little. For my parents, there was a time where there was no electricity. Mm-hmm. So little by little, in the last 50 years, a lot of things changed. Yeah. All the luxuries, Wi-Fi is there now. Yeah. But when I was growing up, and pretty much my childhood, that was like free and wild. That makes you, like right here, most of our kids, they grow up very sheltered. Mm-hmm. Everything is dangerous, right? Over there, would you let your daughter, for example, a 5-year-old, wander around the hikes by herself? Bro, we're doing that as already. It's not even like it's safe. No, that's just what you do. Yeah. I'm over there getting kicked by freaking donkeys, bro, like messing with them. I remember I don't know why I did those things when I was little, dude. There's a donkey there, fucking pull the tail. Here's the donkey. Kick the fuck out of me, dude. Sends me flying. I don't even know how to die, bro. But so that happens, and after that, I had an incident where I almost drowned, dude. Mm-hmm. Just all over the place, being a little badass, man, just doing things. But it comes like graduating from elementary. I'm more like, how old are you when you're in elementary? Like 11?
Yeah, after 5th grade or something, yeah.
I tell my mom, like, I have an uncle, my uncle Francisco, Pancho, we call him. He actually went to university in Mexico. Mm-hmm. And he ends up having a civil engineering job in the city of Aguascalientes, another state, which is about 3 hours from where we live. Mm-hmm. And I looked up to him, and I was like, I never thought about coming to the U.S., whatever. It's like, I want to do what he's doing. And this, I'm telling my mom this at 11. Mm-hmm. I'm telling her, if I'm not going to go to the United States, I'm not going to go work over there or nothing like everybody else does. I'm going to go to university here, and I want to go live with my uncle. I'm 11 calling the shots, bro. My mom's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, you're not going to do that. And it's like, well, if I don't do that, I'm going to screw around here, and I'm not going to do nothing. Yeah. And that's crazy that I think about it now. Like, what the hell was I thinking? So here I go. She lets me go with my uncle. And then I would take the bus at 11. They put me on a bus. I'll get on the bus 3 hours later. I'm at my uncle's. And I grew up, and that was a culture shock, man, because I go from a small little town where, like, the only times you hear of people dying is, like, a car accident, something happens, old age. People live to be 100, they die of those. When I get there, with my uncle was living with another uncle and aunt and their whole family. They turn on the news when we're going to go eat. you start hearing gangs, rapes, somebody got shot over there, somebody got stabbed, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, now I'm getting scared.
Yeah.
And now my first day of school goes, I'm getting freaking bullied, man. Because I and this is where it's just like, that's where it kind of starts building up to like, you grow up fast, basically.
Yeah.
Like now I'm dealing with like these freaking kids making fun of my accent. Because now I'm like, I sound different than them. Because even from state to state, like here you talk to someone from New York, Texas, we sound different.
Yeah. The dialects, Yeah,
so you just, your accent is different. But I think even from there on, I think I'll always have some sort of like leadership qualities maybe. Because even I was just thinking even on the way here, I was just thought about it, it's like, just thinking of my childhood, because I was like, I probably want to share that because I probably haven't shared this ever maybe some of it. I kind of moved fast to where I was in the dark hole.
Yeah.
But honestly, the way you asked that question, it did make me think like, well, yeah, you don't just like are born a certain way or like you develop your circumstances, your lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I remember one time, maybe I was like 6, and I was still in kindergarten, whatever's that last year you are in kindergarten, 5, 6. And I remember literally telling my little friends, like, I don't know what words I used, but I basically told them, screw this, let's get out of here at like recess. And let's go to the river and I know all these little kids that live by this house.
Yeah.
So I fucking rock them because they always like messing with us. So I literally got all these little kids, and when we had a chance, when we were playing on the playground.
That's hilarious.
We fucking walked out, dude. We left, and then we got in trouble and they did blame me because he's like, that was his idea.
He did it. He said.
So we over there, dude. We're literally hiding, and these little kids were like, they were a little more on the poor end. Those were more like truly badass little kids that can freaking work in the little ranch and actually work with animals. We weren't doing any of that. And then they're out there, they're throwing rocks at us, and then we're basically fighting with rocks. So like, and I was like 6. So I think that was the first kind of instance where I felt like I had people doing shit that they probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
So forward to when now I'm in the city, that little bullying shit only happened for a little bit. Next thing you know, I was with friends. Like I made friends pretty quick. And then now the people who I grew up with.
What city?
Aguascalientes.
Okay.
It's the city of Aguascalientes. It's a beautiful state too, but it's like 3 hours from Zacatecas.
Okay.
But when I will go back to my town, now these motherfuckers are making fun of me because my accent changed. Over the next few months, now I'm sounding like the people from Aguascalientes. And now they're like basically telling me like, nah, you're like from over there. And they're talking shit. So it was weird because that happened that year, right? And that really like, dude, every time I got on the bus, I cry. I was like homesick. And then my mom was like, nah, this is dumb. Like she talks to my dad, it's like, we got to do something. Like you can't be over there. Victor is over there in another city. And like something has to change. And long story short, my mom tells my dad, like, you either come back home, or somehow, some way you get us over here. And then when we came over to the United States, man, I didn't want to come. But then my mom said, no, you're not the freaking adult here. You're going to come with us. So what I experienced there, I experienced it all over here. Because now I'm in the United States, and it's a huge thing that happened between that.
Did you talk English yet?
Hell no. No, I live in Mexico.
Yeah.
So I experienced that again in a bigger scale, because now I have to learn another language. I have to learn, I'm in huge cities now.
Yeah.
I'm living by LAX. In the 90s, though.
We came to one of the biggest cities.
When we're talking about Inglewood, Hawthorne, Compton, Gardena, the 90s was like gangbanging, dude.
Oh, yeah.
So I come to that, and I got to learn a language. So now it's like, and even without getting too deep, and I would just say this, I don't get too much into politics, but this past month, January 17, I believe, nearby here, I was at the Homeland Security Office becoming a citizen. 30 years later.
Wow.
So when people, they get out there and they talk about immigration, this and that, people don't have no clue what they're talking about.
Yeah.
We came here since I was little. My dad's been here since he's 18. My grandpa's a citizen. Almost everyone in my family is a citizen. There's no legal path, man. Like, there's nothing really. Like, there's nothing like you can go apply for a freaking credit card.
Yeah.
So when people, they don't know what they're talking about, when they think it's like people are breaking laws or that. But I know from day one, man, when I got here, by then I was like 12. I had a job by 13, though. I was washing dishes. I didn't need to either. My dad wasn't, like I said, we're in Portland. They work hard to take care of us.
Yeah.
But my mentality came from an immigrant mentality. I came from a mentality like, I'm going to work to help my parents. I'm going to do this. And working at 13, man, washing dishes. And this is not like a a cute little thing for the kids to work. No, that was my job at a like Mediterranean restaurant right down the beach. And the owner and everybody, dude, they're hustling you, bro. You're there to do a job.
Yeah.
So I was always pretty tall. Like I'm 5'11". I grew up pretty fast. I was good size already. And that's kind of how like my dad's boss, my dad was working in that restaurant at that time. He looked at me, he's like, he should be working, otherwise he's gonna be screwing around gangbanging. He wasn't lying. My friends were banging. I was hanging out with that kind of crowd already.
Did you ever think that, you know what, I want to do that one day? Gangbang? Gangs?
I wouldn't say I was a member of them, but I was hanging out with them.
Okay.
And a quick story about that is that I have this story, and this is how your life can change. And we talked about yours, like what you experienced, which is fucking crazy, dude. Like, and that's why I think the first time I talked to you, I can't explain it, man. Why we meet people, but I always know right away when I'm talking to someone that has something deeper, like someone that has something of value to others too, and that's what you're doing. You're serving people, man.
Yeah.
You're a great example. You're like, you're way younger. It's crazy because when we talk, I don't look at the age, but it's like, dude, I'm like 20 years older than you. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But when we talk,
you be my dad.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that sounds very daddy. But when we think of it that way, I admire you, though, in the brief time that I known you, because I learned your story. But again, it took me, and I'll get to the point, but it took me. I'm gonna be 47, but I'm talking to someone across from me that is like 20 years younger, but his fucking mentality is already like, he leveled up already. And who knows, the sky's the limit. You're telling me your education process, what are you trying to do?
Yeah.
So when you asked, did you get ever involved? Yeah, dude, if you see a picture of me from high school, another age, I'm wearing 40s, dude, like 40 freaking size Ben Davis. I'm wearing like shave head. Stereotypical Mexican that games bang. And of course, my parents, they always used to tell me, like, because that's what they don't want you to do, right?
Yeah.
But I was hanging out with people, and then again, the 90s was way different, bro. You're walking around where I grew up in Lawndale, people roll up on you, dude. Like, the older people, like in their 18, 19 that drive, they pull up on you, bro. Like, where you from? Like, they hit you up, and many of people that I knew got shot, dude. You know?
I always joke because I mentor a lot of kids from LA, and they all in gangs, right? And I asked them, I said, hey, when you go out in public, like, what do you wear? They say, oh, I stay ski masked up. They stay covered. It could be 100 degrees outside. Like a jacket, a hoodie, covered up. And I said, man, where I live, because I used to grow up in San Bernardino where, you know, pretty bad. I wouldn't say as bad as LA, but it's there, right? And I say, man, if somebody asks me today where I'm from, I'll be like, Loma Linda.
No, you knew. No, the 90s, man, you know, music-wise, we're talking about Wu-Tang Clan, like more on the East Coast, too. Yeah. But in the West Coast, so it was like a thing. It's like a unity within the hoods and stuff. You know, you're talking, whether you're Mexican or black, you fuck with, like, it was Dre, Snoop, all of that, LBC, all of that. That culture, that you want to be part of all of that, dude. Yeah. But what things got, like, I guess where things changed for me, again, I'm working at the restaurant. Got my own little money now. And I'm only 13, about to be 14. Get into high school, and I went to Miracosta High School, which is it's one of the wealthiest cities in Manhattan Beach, bro. It's like people have money there. Oh, wow. But somehow I got in there, you know, it doesn't matter at this point, but I was using my uncle's address to go there. You know, he lived in Hermosa Beach. But I went to this school where it's primarily, you know, white. Yeah. The only Mexican was me and a couple of my friends. But we didn't hang out there, though. We went to Hawthorne High to hang out with my friends there. Now we're closer to Lenox. To this day, there's gangbanging there. So now I'm hanging with them, and we have a party crew, which was pretty much almost like a gang. And we're throwing our own warehouse parties and whatnot. So I'm living like that, kind of like I'm working, busting my ass at that age. But at that it gave me... I remember thinking one day, man, just washing those dishes, smelling like every fucking flavor you could think of because you're freaking washing dishes. And then I see a lot of my dad's friends, some relatives that are there now in my age, probably like 40s, 30s, whatever. And that's what they're doing as grown adults. And I just thought, like, well, shit, my parents didn't bring me to... There's nothing wrong with that job because that job teach me. Like, you know, it really motivated me to do well in school. Yeah. And I'm thinking, there's no way I'm doing this when I'm 30, though. Again, no shade on, like, whatever job you do.
Yeah, man, I was at McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, but if they bring you, you know, you come here from another country, like, dude, you got to do something more. Yeah. And then, you know, as far as education, I do have a bachelor's. I have a background in 25 years of handling claims and every designation you could think. But in those moments, I think we're kind of turned the table, like, or the page on that little fucking craziness. I went with some friends who their cousin had just got out of jail, and he picked us up in a BMW to go to some party in Long Beach, and I know he's from Glenix, like he's a gang member from Glenix, and he picked us up in a BMW that didn't even belong to him, obviously, you know. It was just like a girlfriend or whatever. And then I sit on the front, two cousins, they sit on the back, and we go to Long Beach. And as we drive into the house, though, there's like, we pull up on this alleyway, and we see someone standing right there. And then this guy must have been like 19, 20, and we're like, I don't know, by then maybe like 15, 16. And then he just hits him up. He's like, hey, what's up? Like, you banging? Where you from? Whatever. And the guy says, he's like, fuck you, Longos, which is Long Beach. It's like a gang in Long Beach. And then he literally reaches over, though, pulls up on the glove compartment, pulls up a gun, though. And it was dark, and he didn't hit him, but like he took 2 shots at him.
Oh, wow.
Dude, I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? What just happened?
Yeah.
Fucking my ears, brrr, like, fucking dude shot at inside the fucking car. And now this is just like, how did it go 0 to 100? We're just going to a party.
Seriously, like,
and we get to the party, dude, it's like in movies. If you see, what's Denzel's movie? Where he's like a corrupt cop, Denzel Washington.
Oh, yeah. You talk Training Day? Yeah, Training Day.
Oh, that was like where he pulled up to the house. Where it looks like, oh, we pull up in. And this is a crazy thing because we're in Long Beach, and that's Longos. That's Sureños from Long Beach. They're the rivals with people from Lennox. So why the hell is this idiots? Why are we hanging over there? And then one thing is that people start drinking. I don't even smoke weed. No, I never did until I was like 30. The first time I ever even tried it. And I don't no more. Maybe once or twice I tried it. But at that time, it's just alcohol. We're drinking. And then the cousin, like nothing happened. He just shot some dude. Nothing happened. Like, what the fuck? He sits next to me. And he's telling me, hey, you know, my cousins, they told me about you. Like, you've been hanging out with this. And they said, you're cool, dude. And, you know, but I think you've been hanging out long enough that I think it's time for you to, like, join us. Like, officially. And how do you join? They beat the crap out of you.
Yeah.
So, dude, I'm trying to be at a party, hang out, talk to girls, whatever. Like, I'm not trying to get my ass beat or jump into a gang. But it was kind of stupid because everybody there, dude, they were gang members. Yeah. And at one point, I think that one of the guys that I was with, for whatever reason, he slapped his girlfriend, dude.
Oh, wow.
And one thing that they do, I don't know if it's the same way, but like, they kind of like discipline each other. And they literally, in Spanish word, disciplina. It's like discipline time. So you're slapping on a girl. They took him outside to the patio, start kicking the crap out of him. That's his own cousin that they're beating up. And when that was happening, somebody's gun fell off, and a shot went off. And right when this dude's telling me about like getting jumped in, I'm just praying to God. I'm like
something happened.
This sucks. That happened, and everybody scrams like roaches because they shot. We're in residential, obviously, so somebody's gonna call the cops. Yeah. And you start hearing sirens. Everybody scram. Dude, after that, like we got out of that situation. And then I just started making up shit to my friends, like, nah, my mom is sick, like, you know. And one thing that even gangs respect is your mom.
Yeah,
if you tell
no,
them,
seriously, I tell. The kids I serve, they literally. So I go to a juvenile hall in LA, right? And I do motivational speaking there. I do a lot of things there. And so I speak with them, and literally every single one of them, they said, man, you know, and these are kids that are hard. Like, they about that life. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they done did some crazy stuff. Yeah. They always say, man, I really disappointed my mom, and that's what hurts the most. Like, they all still mama boys. You get me? So
we all to the root of us. Like, we always, like, and that's probably how we end up with, like, even in our relations, whatever. There's something about, like the caretaker that mom does that we always kind of towards that. And so that's one thing that at least they respected. So that was my thing, my kind of way out. Like, you know, after that situation, I was just like, nah, my mom is not doing too well, man. I don't want to, you know, upset her. Like,
you started saying everything else, man. Is she even still alive?
At that time, it's no freaking Instagram. There's nothing. People can't really see what's going on unless you. And that's the other thing that is different now. Like, your entertainment, there was not too much shit. You're just out there on the streets for good or bad. Yeah. So, and a lot of things happened like that. So now we're getting to like, I graduated high school. Right away, I get an internship at an office. And that's how I ended up in my career. And by, you know, I grew up, since I was like 13, I grew up with my kid's mom. And my little life is perfect in a way because now, you know, I'm one of the first ones working in an office, working towards a college degree. And it's just like, okay, we arrived, like we're doing something we're supposed to do. What is it, by 24, plan buying a home. We didn't like the stereotypical, or it happens when people get pregnant by accident. Now we plan our son, Nick, our first son, at 24. buying a house, white picket fence, literally, freaking dog.
Hey.
It's like the American dream, bro.
Yeah.
So all of that goes smooth. Of course, there's things in between, but other than that, the shortest answer I can give is like life happens. People outgrow each other. So at 30, I would think I was 30. It was like 30, 31. She just didn't want to be together anymore. She called it a day. But now it's different. I have a great relationship with her. But what happened right there, and this is kind of how it gets, like when you ask, like, you don't just do this. So a big contribution is my upbringing, like just seeing life differently, bro. Like privilege for sure. Like people that take for granted. I'll give you one example, and you probably wouldn't even know. Back and forth throughout the years in California, undocumented people have been able to drive, and sometimes they haven't. When I was in high school, and my status where it was like my dad had done whatever he could do for me, I couldn't get a driver's license. So think about this. I can't even drive.
Yeah.
I'm still driving because I'm freaking 18.
Yeah.
But I can't drive legally.
Yeah.
So what do? Do you have to pay extra money, whatever, somebody at the fucking DMV to help you and do things? And those are like things like, that you do what you have to do to make ends meet, to be at a job. But those things make you look different. People complain about all their shit, but like when you can't even do simple things, I couldn't travel outside the U.S. until in my mid-30s. Think about that, 30 years later. So when all of that's happened, those adversities makes you more hungry, more appreciative, and it makes you value more the opportunities. So when I'm at the office, there's kids complaining that like they're doing extra stuff. They're not even paying me for this. Dude, if they ask me, you think you can help out and learn this? Sign me up.
Yeah.
You think you're ready for this next position? Sign me up. We like to take advantage of, we pay half of tuition. You know, you have to get an A or B. Sign me up.
Yeah.
I took about every fucking opportunity I could think
Absolutely.
of. So that's where like the drive came from. But fast forward when things end, I went from like my abuelita, my grandma on my dad's side. She always used me as sort of like an example, dude. Like my middle name is Manuel, and it'd be like, Manuel, like, he would tell the younger ones, like, he did this, he has his own house, he has a college degree. He just pumped me up in front of everybody, like do what he's doing. I was like a leader, example for the family. But then when things went, sideways in the relationship, and now I'm basically asked, things escalate because if your significant other doesn't want to be with you anymore, but we're still in the same household, which I'm working. I'm the only one who's working. I'm like a head of household. And she's a stay-at-home mom, which I thought it was a great thing because she could take care of the kids. But looking back, it's tough because I feel like individually, even for the females, they have to have something else besides like the kids. Some passion, I don't know, something, because it can't just be that. Otherwise, they kind of in their own views, I feel like they feel a little lesser because they're not contributing. But I will always say, shit, I think what you're doing is way bigger than in a job.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But fast forward when you're in a situation where you're not together, and you're that, and how do you take like someone that you loved all your life since you're 13, that you share kids with, how do you take like someone to tell you that ultimate rejection? How do you take like, I don't want to be with you anymore? You're an amazing dad, you're a great guy, but I don't want to be with you.
Man.
What the fuck? Like, how do I? What does that mean?
Yeah.
So like,
I couldn't imagine.
Hey, bro, like how do I take it? You're a great employee, you show up on time every day, but
you fired.
Get the hell out of here. I mean, is that and down the line, I learned that like a lot of times decisions are not, they're not based on you, but it's not you, it's me.
Yeah.
That shit sucks, and I used it many times in my life too. So it sucks. So when that happens, though, this is like, it's not to be dramatic, but like when that happens, your world changes. I remember vividly, when shit just would hit the fans, because now she wants to be a single person, and we're in the same house. Oh, don't worry, I take care of the kids. Here's your love of your life, going out to party with her friends, and I'm staying with the kids because I said I can stay with the kids. You become like the nice guy, but I mean, it's your own kids, but still, you're an idiot. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, let her find a babysitter, but it's like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But to live that, and then it's rough, though. So from there on, I always own guns, though. Like, I have a 45, a SIG, shotgun, I have everything you could think of, and I've been taking my kids shooting since they were little. But when you're going through shit, dude, you shouldn't have guns.
Yeah.
And my parents told me that. They're like, we worry about you when things started getting like rough and they knew that we're not together anymore. Essentially, I have to leave the house. And walking out of that fucking door, man, like putting my kids to sleep and walking out of the door to your own home, like walking out, it just is heartbreaking, though, because you're like, you can't explain, like, well, why am I leaving? Like, what the fuck did I do? But I know that it's not good to be together no more.
Yeah.
Because now there are problems. And when all that happened, dude, it went on for like 2 years of like, it wasn't a clear path, like we're not together because we're still like doing a lot of things together. And I tell people like, there was times where, dude, I was riding with a fucking gun on my glove compartment. I was waiting for like some shit, for her to be seeing someone, like to do some shit. That's what I had. My mind was not right, dude. Then I got the biggest I ever got, like 240. Obviously not working out, stressed out a job, dealing with this. And because things were going like that, I ended up getting a place, like a condo. Dude, you can't afford a mortgage and a condo.
Yeah.
Even if you make okay money. And then I think I blew through money that I had.
Because you're still paying for like, the mortgage.
I'm still doing anything that I can to provide. And it's just like on the financial, everything, ruin your credit. I ended up, that house I ended up foreclosing it. It just, everything, like your life goes from like maybe in your 20s, from being sort of like, I would say like a perfect life that I would have.
So everything
you
just
go through that or everything falling apart.
Yeah.
And then what is it that you find during those times? You find people to party with, to try to ease your mind, maybe meet somebody else. And you're doing all of that. Now you're in places where you are drinking, where you're like driving sometimes under the influence. So you just start doing really messed up things. And it becomes a constant, like a living nightmare. That's what I would classify it. And that's exactly where like the fitness comes in. Yeah. Because at my lowest point, bro, before, if I was trying to share with you some of this, I'll cry. I'm not immune to, like, let's say, feeling for whatever reason emotional, but now longer, it's just you heal in many ways. Yeah. But of course, it breaks everybody's heart. Her family, my family, they're seeing you like you're a shadow of like who you were. You become pretty pathetic, man, in so many ways, because you start feeling sorry for yourself. I lash out at her, like I never did nothing to her, but like you lash out verbally, you're doing things, calling names.
You're not who you are.
Nah, dude, you're just a piece of shit. Dude. Like you just,
and there's like, and then at the time you feel you can't control it. No, there's nothing you could do.
There's nothing. You try to party, and like I said, I was pretty social. So even when I was partying, dude, I meet girls, I meet a woman, and then you get distracted. But at the end of the day, when you're laying there in bed and you're by yourself, or even if you're at a company, whatever, but when you're there, and you wake up in the morning and you look around, this ain't my fucking house. Like, this is, my reality hits again. And it just happened, it went on for like 2 years like that where, I could share tons of like fucked up stories and things that I did and all of that. But what like really changed my life, and this is how it relates to my events, because there could be anybody else exactly where I'm at. And it was because I think in my YouTube channel, if you go way back to the first video that is posted in there, years ago, there's a video of me, it looked like shit, bro, bald-headed, fucking crying. And I look like shit, but in the video I said something like, I know that I'm going through some shit. I know that I'm a shadow of myself, or whatever words I use. But I know that, like, I just say this, and at that time it broke my heart to say, but I said, I know that one day I'm going to be okay. And that, even right now, that's fucking like, chokes me up a little bit, because I don't know, man, it sucked, but I knew I'm going to be okay. And around that time, a few things happened. One thing was that it was the first time she was already dating somebody, and it's Halloween.
And you talk about your ex, right? Yeah.
And at that time, it's her weekend, I guess. So my kids are going to go Halloween with her and her dude. Bro, that sucked ass. I was like, what the fuck? Like, why am I not going trick-or-treating with my kids? And that's something that we always did every year.
So, I know that.
So at that time, I had, there was this kid, Daniel, that grew up with us across the street when we were little. And now he became this fucking huge German body lifter looking motherfucker. He got into like a lot of those health clubs from Herbalife, and people think of different supplements, Herbalife bad. One thing that he always invited me, and by then I think I did have Facebook, and he would always be like, "Yo, come through to the boot camp we have. It'd be good for you," because he kind of know what I was going through. And I was like, dude, I don't have time right now. I really felt like 50, dude. I was bigger. I was sitting on the office, my knees hurt, everything. I already had arthroscopic surgery on my knee from playing soccer when I was young. And then it was just one day that this dude said, like, I put a post and it's like, oh, I'm thinking of either joining the gym or doing some type of like something else, getting into something. And that dude commentates like, man, you're not going to do nothing. Like, I've been inviting you. And I said, this motherfucker.
Like the same people you be talking. Like
exactly. So then I showed up to this fucking boot camp that he had at the beach. It wasn't Redondo. It was like some stairs. It was like a circuit. You ran up the stairs. You got down to the flat area, and they had either sit-ups, push-ups, squats, lunges, go back up. We did that for 30 minutes. And I was being pretty competitive, dude. I played soccer growing up.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm like sort of keeping up with the faster dudes. Mm-hmm. But as soon as the shit was 30 minutes were up, like, how was the workout? And I tell my friend, I go to the fucking bathroom, dude, puked. My ears are buzzing.
Yeah.
Feels like shit, bro. I feel like my lungs, everything feels like crap. Then they invite me to this, they call it a shake party, bro. I was like, what the fuck we gonna do there? We go to somebody's house right there, and they had like fucking aloe vera with like green tea. So of course the green tea's gonna pump you up, you know? And then they had like this protein shake, and shit was bomb, dude. It was like, and then they tell me about it. Well, we have a boot camp here. From there on, that's how I met him. But I'm still kind of like going through stuff.
Yeah.
But in that group, I found like a fucking family, man. Of course, I had my family, bro. But sometimes it's like, it's hard for you to like share those things with your family because it's like,
you don't want them to look at you
like a burden, dude. It's a burden, and they she gets old, dude. Like you know, like how many years you gonna whip, dude? For like 3 years, like and when the whole Halloween thing happened, it was kind of like rock bottom, dude. And I remember sitting in the couch. And I had this fucking save that you just put your fingers, like a fingerprint thing, and you just, the door opens, and I'm fucking crying. I think I had been drinking, dude, and I grabbed like my fucking 9, dude, and I'm just like crying, and I'm just like tired of like just getting up every morning, dude, and having some little better moments because now I'm working out a little bit, and it's just like sad, dude, and I just like, I literally put like the fucking gun to my head, bro, and I was just like shaking, and then I still have the picture of my house. It's like, it's my son, Richie. Like it's like long hair at that time, and he's just in his little frame right there. Dude, I just looked at his picture, and it's just like the fear.
As you had
God, dude, like the fear of God. I remember clearly, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Put that shit back in there. Close that shit. And then I just now got this crazy, like deeper hurt, like whatever feeling. And I walk to the room. I had a mirror. And I look like shit, bro. Like, you know, my eyes look like puffy as fuck, right? And then I start talking shit to myself, dude. I just start telling myself, like, dang, what a piece of shit you are. Like, you know, here you are trying to, like, you know, fucking live your kids, dude. Like, it was really crazy, dude, because I'm talking to myself. And around the same, like, I think it happened before. It was not the first thing that with the gun incident, because there was another instance where my sister came into, and because I think my ex told her that I was blowing out her phone talking shit. And she's like, what are you doing? Put away your phone, blah, blah, blah. And then I got pissed, and I think I punched the wall, and I broke the cell phone with my hand. And then I went and grabbed my gun, and I think she was trying to take it away. I'm like, I didn't shoot my sister, bro. Like, so anyway, so those things happen. And right after that, I get a call from, I believe it was, who the fuck was it? I think it was my friend Robert, and which ironically, like, not to put his business out there, but he works for ICE. So it's like this whole shit that I grew up with, like something big. But he's always been a good friend of mine. And he just said, hey, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Come through. Like, we're at the Hell Club. We're doing a little Halloween thing. And like, bro, look, like I didn't tell him, but it's like, I literally try to kill myself right now. Like,
yeah,
I want to fucking
literally.
see it. He's like, bro, stop being
man, leave me alone, man.
like,
I don't want to talk to nobody.
Just stop being a bitch, man. Come. I'm like, okay. And it was crazy because I was like the turning point, man. I get there, and like I said, I've always been pretty social. I would say people, for the most part, that like me. Of course, there's going to be people that don't like you, but I just walked in there, and everyone's like, oh, fucking Victor or whatever, and they got happy. And it was that was like the turning point from my life completely changed. I started doing those fucking clips like all the time. I gave myself a goal to like, I said, I'm going to go fucking hiking for every day. It can turn into a week, 2 weeks, and I'm getting close to 30 days. Like, I'm going to finish 30 days. And then 35 days, I'm going to do fucking 60 days. And I call kind of like, that's where it stopped. But I did 60 days of hiking, though. Drinking my fucking shakes, meal prepping, doing whatever. Like, just eating,
Lost that
not
weight,
drinking.
huh?
Dude, I went on to lose at that time. I think I lost like 60 pounds, dude.
Dang.
And now this is when like the whole fucking Machete was born, bro. Because now I'm doing shit like that. Like, I just became obsessed with like the club. They told me about a sparring race, and I'm like, and then look at idea, I got a fucking sparring tattoo. That tells you how obsessed I got with that. Went on to do everything you could think of, but I didn't look much into it. I was just like, sparring race, let me look up a YouTube video, sign up, boom, do it. I do one. They're still doing more. And now I'm here at the trail mat, wearing the fucking trail mask, the training mask. And then I'm walking with motherfucking chains, with this fucking tire. And it's like a little persona that was born, dude. And then people, they're not looking at the little pathetic motherfucker that was before. You know, again, if you're going through that stuff, it sucks, man. But at one point, that's how like your character is built. because I'm seconds away from like being and of course I don't want to like offend anyone and to say like, but I'm thinking for myself, right? Mm-hmm. And again, sometimes your cross is too heavy to carry. Your burden is too heavy.
Yeah.
And people do take their lives.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't want to say it, but the way I felt at that moment, I just took myself. I'm not gonna be a coward and take the easy way out. Mm-hmm. And again, it's not to offend anyone, but that's how I personally felt. Mm-hmm. So to overcome that, and now I get this joy. Now I'm in the best shape of my life. Yeah. Now even my social life, like you know, girls, females, everything changed. So,
you know what I like about the whole story that you just told? And then, so if I was to ask you, hey, what's the hardest thing that you ever endured? It would probably be that, right? Yeah, because you had a family one day, and one day she's just like, yeah, I want to be single. But you're a great guy, but you're just not great for me, or I don't know, right? So what you just said right now, you could have took the easy way out, which would have been your easy way, taking your life. Right. But what you just said was that it got better. Oh, yeah. And so a lot of times people think, oh man, because I wanted to commit suicide before. Right. Because I used to be overweight. Me and you both used to share that. Yeah. And I'm shorter than you. I used to be 300 pounds. So imagine the circumference that the surface is that I was a big dude. And the way I was going to commit suicide was grabbing the biggest knife in the kitchen, machete, and stabbing myself in the stomach, right? Because that's what my pain was. And so I thought about it. But in that instance, I realized, like, no, I can't do this. Right. And it's crazy because you hear this analogy all the time. There's no storm that has lasted forever. Mm-hmm. Sooner or later, the sunlight will break through the storm. And so if you would have took your life then, just imagine all the lives that you have changed. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Not just your kids, because you need to be there for your kids, but the community that you have, all the lives you have changed, all the people you have touched. I mean, you inspired me. I watch your stuff. I mean, you're consistent with everything that you say, everything you do. You got this huge community. So imagine a world without Victor. You get what I'm saying? And so even though to us we wouldn't know, but the impact that you made wouldn't have been made. And so I think that, I mean, a lot of people struggle with it, especially now we got social media, the stress of life, living in California is expensive. Just everything, right? People are getting divorced. They say, I think it's up to like 66% of people get divorced. I mean, I have a happy marriage. I couldn't imagine that pain. You get what I'm saying? So that's a pain that I never want to endure. I never want to, like I said, endure it, but also I don't know what's going to happen if that happened to me. And so, yeah, man, I think it's just amazing how even though you wanted to call it quits, you persevered, you pushed forward, and now you are who you are today, which is a huge blessing to so many people, right? And I like how you said your girlfriend is a woman of faith. You just said like a cross. Sometimes it's a cross I'm like too big to carry, right?
Too much of a burden.
Exactly, and that's biblical right there. We have to carry our cross and literally, I mean, and that's what we got to do. We got to carry it and keep moving forward, right? No matter how tall that mountain is, you have to carry that cross because there's people behind you that are depending on you. So now that you are, all right, so your life got better, you did all the races. Now that you are where you are right now, I want to ask two things. The first thing is, what was like that you've seen the biggest impact you have made on an individual?
I think is your own testimony. Like I said, I don't share it too much because at times, you have some friends that heard the story, they seen that before and after. And sometimes you get some people that just bust your balls, or they're just friends, but they could be annoying. Yeah. Like, bro, you already shared the before and after. But at one point, I used to be more often because at that time I was doing like Herbalife too, almost like it was like a business. Yeah. You're coaching people, you're doing all of that. So the biggest sell pitch, I guess, it would be your own story. I could tell you this because I did it, right? Yeah. I changed my look, I changed my lifestyle, but the biggest thing it was just sharing my own story, and because I've been very open. The beginning was overwhelming because I shared sort of what we just talked about, but at that time when I shared those things, it was just impossible not to cry, bro. It was impossible not to be emotional because I was living proof that you could be high. Meaning like in my 20s, building careers, having a nice home. And in my mid-30s or beginning of my 30s, rock bottom. And then now people see your lifestyle and they see all of this. Like you can be in many places and you could probably be down there again. Like who knows though? But the biggest, I guess I will say, is just giving people hope to be honest, because I was like, and it's not to like toot your own fucking horns, though, but like if I show you my freaking face, I don't delete shit, but if you see like my Facebook messages, though, I'll give you one example, though. I had this, I created this Facebook group called Machete 30. It was like, it could be 30 pushes for 30 days. And now I'll have guest hosts, like I could have you in there. And I haven't really been active in that, but I had it for a lot of years. And there was this dude who was like in 300 pounds, went on to lose like 100 pounds. I have no clue who this dude is. Some younger dude from New Zealand or something like that, or Australia, somewhere over there.
Yeah.
Hits me up one day and it's kind of like flattering, but a little, kind of like a little embarrassing at first. Like it's kind of weird, like when people refer to you, not even by my name, but like Machete, right? And that also happened in person, like, you know, someone coming up to me, it's like, hey, are you Machete? My sister's with me in Vegas, way back then. Can we take a picture with you? My sister still brings it out, she laughs, like, but you start seeing like, oh shit, people recognize you. Yeah. People see that. But this dude sends me one day, it's like, hey man, just want to share with you. You don't know who I am, but you know, I never post on the group, because you're supposed to encourage people to post on the group that you did your push-ups so others can do it, accountability. But this dude says, I haven't never posted nothing. You don't know who I am, but just know that like every time like shit gets hard, like I just think like, whoa, what would Machete do? He wouldn't quit. Because one of my things that I always, on my captions and hashtags, I always put never give up. Because that's the bottom line, right? Yeah. If I gave up, I wouldn't be here. And then that was one example. And then from there on, dude, I could go down the line from dudes that, like, damn, dude, I'm right now as heavy as you used to be. I'm also going through a divorce. Because I was very open and detailed, like what I went through. Yeah. So the biggest thing was that, though, that people started like finding hope from like, I guess what I overcame. But it's not over, man. Like I still go through stuff here and there. You know what I mean? Of course, you're human. But the biggest thing at one point it was affecting me though, because every time I would get connected with these people sharing their own story, like I would put something up. Ping, 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 ping. I get notifications. I get a message this fucking long. One of the most dramatic stories for that is like this girl that she hits me up and kind of similar. Like, I don't know your story. I'm going through this. It was some crazy shit, bro. Like the husband ends up being like, he was a pastor, ends up being gay. He's trying to sell the house, trying to claim that she's crazy without her. Some crazy shit. And then one day, after I tried to like encourage her back, one day, dude, she sent me a fucking picture with a gun to her head. Wow. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Oh, like, so throughout the years, I opened myself up too much, but there was a point where it was affecting me too, because that shit it was kind of bringing me back to my own. Your heart is not healed, though. So in the first 5 years, probably I had this, and then as the time went on, I kind of like, I learned how to like, I shared a little less. But I learned how to like deal with it better and just understand that people go through stuff and you can only help them so much. Yeah. But one of the things I think draw my interest in having a friendship with you is like by 1 minute you look at your page, your fate is evident. Like that's one thing. And I feel like over the years that has been changing. So I met many people, and the messed up things about this, and this goes to anyone that has recently become single, divorced. You got to give yourself time. And again, I'm not even speaking from like I'm an expert. I know everything. I'm just speaking from my life and what I learned is that, and I'm still learning. But when you recently go through that kind of stuff, we're looking for, of course, it feels good to know that like you're attracted to someone. You know that somebody likes you. That's natural. Like you're good. But when you're hurt and you're still going through stuff, though, you hurt others. And somebody told me that, though. I met somebody in the early years. And this girl told me, like, I did the same thing you did. I know you're out there partying, you know, woman and all of this. But the thing is, like, if you don't let yourself heal, you're going to hurt others. And I did that a lot, bro. So there's a lot of people that I was with in relationships, that I dated, friends with benefits, whatever you want to call it, man. Like, any female that I encounter, I met amazing people. But the thing that always was missing is that we never, like, those relationships were never, like, God was never there. Yeah. And even speaking of God, like, I don't know, just as we speak right now, like I said, when you invite me to let's do this, I don't know, like, I'm feeling fine. I'm just tired as hell from yesterday. But what I'm telling you right now is definitely making me emotional because I'm like, damn, like I feel the, you know, we're here at your gym, and it's almost like you feel like the Holy Spirit, bro. Like you feel a presence, bro. Like you know what I mean? Because of, I think your energy and my energy where I'm at now. And of years of breaking my own heart again and breaking other people's heart, which I did quite a bit. You know, people, I guess I became like, I I don't know. I got used to the chase. I got used to acceptance. You know, you go from the ultimate rejection, so now it feels good to get accepted. It feels good for people to want to be with you.
Yeah.
But then there's no God in there. Even though I always, you know, you always think like, you know, I believe in God and this, but you're not. It's not. It's not in there.
Yeah.
But you already know that through the things that happen already. You know that God has been there, saved your ass, right? But now it's like it's crazy because Victoria knows this, and when I met her, it's like she knows that if I would have met her a year before. My that chapter of my life of like endless just dating and doing all of that would continue and nothing would happen between us, nothing serious. But because I met her at a point in time in my life where like little by little things were shifting more and like just wanting and knowing that you have to have faith in your relationship with that. And the way she is though, it's just like fuck. It's just like a confirmation of like that's real. Like that's someone, and who knows, like things can happen in life. And but I used to I guess I want to mention this, that all that stuff that we do, man, it comes from fear. You know, everything that you fear comes to fruition because you attract that. You fear this, you fear that, it happens. So then when you start living, and I learned that from that, and it's interesting because I just gave her. I found this patch for her. She just did a run that they do for the Fresno PD and first responders, and she did it with a weighted vest. And on the Velcro, I gave her a patch that it says "Faith over fear." Palms, I think it is. Or it has a scripture right there. Yeah. And it's like I heard the first time from her. She said something like she didn't live by fear. So even though I was like a fucking a book of red flags, because it was like dudes on all over social media. It was like his attitude, whatever, the way he is. Like I think I'm nice, but yeah, I'm around like, you know, at that time, you know, I'm around women all the time, just things like that. It was just like everything. Like I overshared things with her. I think I felt like all of that. I guess I could say it was a bunch of red flags. Yeah. But I don't know, whatever, like, you know, for what I can share from what she has told me, it's like she was not going to let, like, whatever she got feeling or whatever her heart was telling her, like I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. And even in the early on, I was still, you know, acting a fool, like still not even knowing. But I feel like for sure I did all those things out of fear, man, because you're pushing people away. But you keep them here because you want it. But that's not fair for them. You're just keeping them like guessing and shit.
Do you see yourself getting married again?
Oh yeah,
I want to see it happen.
The thing about it is like I was technically never married. We just lived together, so I've never been married. She has never been married. Okay. So like it's gonna happen, but it's like recently she started doing Bible study. So she was already pretty much into her faith as she is. But now, like her best friend, and others, they do Bible study. Yeah. And she's recently been seeing a lot of stuff that relates to what marriage is. And if you recall, and again, that's why I know we meet people for a reason. Do you recall when we were doing like, you know, when I met you, came over the house, we did our podcast, whatnot. Remember off camera what I asked you about like your marriage, and I said, it's like, dude, you have a charisma, you're fucking out there doing ultras, you're a good looking dude, like. You're going to be around people. And one thing I can tell you, and 100% is like, it's just the way it's always been. No matter if you're a shady character, and this is just my opinion, women are attracted to leadership roles. You know, well, they're not attracted to low confidence, fucking weenies, little guys that are like, that don't have no presence. Exactly. But you're going to be in that position. And I did ask you about that, and I think your response, you know, it's a personal thing, so I probably won't repeat it, but you told me something about your dad. What he had told you when you were leading up to getting married. Yeah. And that shit just got me thinking, bro. And I was like, damn. Like, and I asked you about that. And what I got out of that from what you shared is like, that's where I was already thinking like that. Like, I don't know if you said it that day, but this essentially what Victoria has shared is that like when you're like marrying, you're not just marrying the person, right? Oh yeah, I remember what I said. Victoria has told me you're making a promise to God. Exactly. Right? And that's literally what Victoria told me, dude. Yeah. So I was like, damn, like what the fuck? That she gives me goosebumps because it's like, and that's honestly like I think to be fair, like any relationship, including with my kid's mom and anybody else in between, I think the key was that there was never faith there. Nobody, none of us, myself, and I think as a man, you're the leader, though. You gotta. Lead by example. Exactly. I never did that. Exactly. So there's like no wonder why it never worked out because you just lived in fear and you didn't have God in your life. And to this day, though, I'm still, like just like fitness, you're still growing your faith. You're still,
Absolutely.
You're doing all of that though. But so that's what I mean. Like, so you hit the fucking nail on the head when you said, probably the hardest thing you've done in your life is what you experienced. Like what you were telling me that I experienced during those years. And that was like my motto, dude. That's what drove me, because the love for my kids, every race that I ever did, every hard thing. And I went on to do like probably the longest crappy shit I did or challenging was the Spartan Agogi. This was like 2014,
I remember
15,
you told me,
60 hours of we in fucking war. We were rappelling down mountains. We're doing some crazy shit. And every event that I ever did, all I had in my mind, bro, was my kids. And I would always just think like, I can't quit. Like, I'm not going to quit. Like, and this, again, if you DNF, whatever, you got to take care of your health. There could be any reason, no judgment. But in mine, I think from fucking Ironman, Spartan, Ultras, up to 100 milers, no DNFs. Well, I should have DNF'd the other day.
Yeah.
And now thinking back, I probably should, because now it doesn't carry that way. But when I was doing them, the reason I was not DNFing, bro, because it meant more than anything.
Yeah.
And I used to tell myself that. I was like, dude, like no fucking mountain is high enough, no obstacle is hard enough, no pain is hard enough than the pain that I did from like, just like, it was very emotional when I used to say it, but like my parents are still together. I grew up with both. Knowing that my kids were not gonna have that, that shit will break my heart though. But now though, like it was only maybe 2-3 years that were rough, even between me and their mom.
Yeah.
Now, in days though, Victoria has met her. I met Victoria's ex-husband, and it's like, it's crazy to be at the level that you could even have those relationships.
Yeah.
And like my relationship and Victoria's relationship with each other's ex, like the way we are with them, is very similar. It's just completely moved on. You really appreciate them for who they are, for your kids. And it's just crazy. But yeah, man, to answer that question is like, that's why any event, man, that was my mentality. There's nothing that I could sign up that is going to kick me the way that situation did. And that allowed me. But now it's a little different. For a long time, too, it was just like, again, it's a persona. Like my Instagram that got deleted used to be called Machete Beast. Same thing. Somebody's like, you're a fucking beast. You're a beast. So it's a Machete Beast. And then it was Machete Madness. But that page, dude, it was a persona. People expect you to do this. Dude, I could not go to a damn Spartan race, be at a fucking obstacle, just sucking, dude. These things are hard.
Yeah.
And somebody pulling up a fucking phone, Machete! It's like, motherfucker.
I'm just trying to be here to have fun sometimes.
So I wasn't just trying to finish the race.
Yeah.
I was there not to fail an obstacle.
Yeah.
And not to take shortcuts, because somebody's going to record me. That's your reputation.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody going to catch me putting half rocks on the bucket. Nobody's going to catch me skipping, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, that became a little bit of a pressure, I guess, and then a persona that like that. But now, I've gotten better about that. I was expected to be at every Spartan race. I was expected to do this and that. And little by little, I started telling my friends, like, man, my kids are kind of resenting it, dude. Like, I can't be doing this shit all the time, And even that's another thing where as it relates to the trail races now with the campground.
Yeah.
And I want to actually sit down and talk to this gentleman, but he works for the forest services or whatnot, like they're, cutting up whatever they're doing to clean for fires and stuff. And I think he has a kid, he's autistic, and he just told me, I signed up for your race. And that dude was doing yesterday, he was doing our race backwards. For some reason, he came backwards. Backwards sucks. It's the worst.
Yeah.
And we just started talking, bro. Think about this. Why, again, we meet people for a reason. We're just talking on top of the fucking Machete 2.0, like random as fuck, like these guys talking. And then we're saying, like, he kind of said, okay, kind of hold the thought and I want to talk to you. But essentially, he kind of shared why he signed up for my race. He said, I signed up for your race because it's very difficult for my kids with his needs and with my wife for me to do any ultra and for them to just see me 10 hours later or have access to see me. And it's like in your race, the way I read it and what you said in there is like, it became very appealing. And that's like when your vision becomes a reality. Yeah. When you're like, this is literally what this dude just says, why I built it that way. And again, it's a freaking hard race, but it's just like, I don't know, man. We joke around yesterday when you were telling me, it's like, I did my 5K, and it was like, I'm telling you all these people are doing all this shit. Yeah. But it's like, the thing about it is like, all fitness, anything that leads you to be active and healthy is a plus, bro. And I'm biased because I'm in the endurance world, bro. I've been on this shit for so many years. But I don't think that you can finish it, again, a 5K, a 10K, a workout, whatever. Even high rocks. High rocks is hard, I think the lifestyle, you can say you changed your life, but one single event, you can't say like, oh shit, this 5K changed my fucking life. Hell no, man. Did you go see? No.
Hey, it's funny. I left the 5K yesterday. Like, I didn't talk to anybody because I just had to leave. I walked back to where my car was.
It was longer.
It was a mile away. So I was like, I didn't even talk to nobody. I just got the medal and walked off. Like you said. Nothing, but once you do one of these ultras, you find out who you really are.
Oh yeah,
you find out who you really are.
You got what it takes, and so that's the thing that even though from like the way I talk, the way I post, sometimes it comes out aggressive, but I think if you really get to know me, like I think people feel that at the race, even at the pre-course, where they're like. They've been told to carry enough water. They've been told to do this. They've been told to them up. But at the end of the day, I'm out there freaking pedaling away in this damn bike, trying to find you, trying to do all of that. And I just do that out of my heart because, like, I want to take care of you, man. Even though it's like a responsibility, but I'm not like, I'm not gonna, But I really believe that, man. Like, our when it comes down to like the events, it's just, I literally gotten that message from people. Your event, whatever, changed my life. The people that I met at your race, and I've seen people that become friends. I'll give you an example. If you look through any of the, content that I posted, you'll see this guy with this crazy afro, like here.
Oh yeah,
he runs with Sandal, Hunter. He met my buddy Steven, who I met like 10 years ago. The way Steve met me is that he got invited by somebody, sort of like at that time it was like a running club too, and they just met me in Azusa. And I was going to give them like a little Machete Madness taste. So I met all these people. I asked them to bring a sandbag. And we're going to hike up to this hike. I think it's called something Punch or whatever. Punk Out Trail or whatever. It's fucking steep.
Yeah.
I take these guys and I asked them to bring zip ties. So at the very end of a workout and hiking, I zip tie these motherfuckers by their feet. Oh. So now you're with a partner and you're zip tied. So now you need to get your ass back to the car with zip tied. Oh, wow. And he remembers like, I came to this work, I don't know what to spend. It's like, what the fuck is this dude zip tying us? And that's how I met him, and they met on my race. And now I seen them like, now Steven is running with fucking sandals like Hunter. And I seen him, I think they got to TJ, bro, to run some fucking races over there. And I seen them together. So that's another coolest thing that has come from it. That I feel like people have come and met really solid individuals. Yeah. And that's why, like, I don't know, looking forward like to the future or what the races bring or whatnot. At times I have wanted to not even do my career and just do that. But I feel like these events, they take a lot out of you, though. Yeah. Even yesterday, just a little bit of personal line, I'm not going to elaborate too much, but it was a rough weekend for me and my girlfriend, bro. Because I'm out there Friday still trying to finish up things. She needs to rest it. And I'll say, I didn't make her, but I wasn't too clear on what I was expecting. I dragged her ass with me on Friday. So now she's sleeping late. She's going to do the 20-miler. And then even after that, it felt like we really didn't have much of a quality time, honestly. And then I have to make adjustments and things like that. So that's why I'm thinking, I possibly could add I'm thinking of I want to have like a 24-hour event where it's just, we're set up at the base. And you do Machete 1.0, which is roughly about 4 miles. So it would be sort of like what they do at a backyard ultras.
Oh, okay. And then you see how much you can do.
But this will be 24 hours because, dude, I'm not trying to sit there with some freaking psycho that can do 500 miles and we're going to be there a week. I do. So I think 24 hours.
So hold on. So you're thinking about
24-hour
just changing the race to 24 hours?
No, that'll be a completely separate race.
Oh, okay.
So we have
That's cool.
April or 100K or whatever. October, Dia de los Muertos, those set distance to keep it that way.
Yeah, and then do like a January. Don't do it when it's too hot.
No, it would be I will have to think maybe right in the beginning, like January, just a 24-hour race towards maybe close to New Year's, whatever. Okay. And
that would be cool, from December 31st to New Year's.
Yeah.
Across the New Year.
Yeah, kind of like that one. That's what I thought. But we'll see because at the same time, it's not that the years that we've been together, me and Victoria, we really do a crazy New Year's thing. I'll definitely in the old days, my freaking Mexican, machismo, whatever, I could probably say I'm the whatever I want. Yeah. It's not even like that, man. But I definitely would probably want to talk to her and tell her how she felt because I need to balance that stuff. Okay. Because it's I have to, my priority is going to be her. And the thing about it is you can think of who's the most important person in your life? Of course, fate is God, right?
And God, and then my wife's right here.
So if you think about it, your parents, your kids, But in reality, it's like our kids are gonna grow up one day. Now my sons are on their own.
Yeah.
Our daughters are like older too.
Yeah.
Everybody's going on. So at the end of the day, your partner is who you're with.
Exactly.
So technically,
you don't want to lose that.
Yeah, that has to be like your priority, though. Like that has to be your priority because that's your foundation now with what you have. So, but I would like to add that. But what I'm thinking too is like the leg, dude. A lot of the things that I share with you, a lot of those rough patches, even after that I had turned the point and Machete was a thing. When I moved out to Moreno Valley, that was a whole new chapter from where I lived. So even doing my different places, different venues, I don't even think it'd be the same, bro. Because to me, I legit fucking see the leg press like my yard, bro. I see like my house, bro. And I'm good with that. So maybe it's not gonna be a thing where that's the only thing I do. Yeah. It just takes a lot of energy, bro.
Yeah, a lot of work,
a lot of time, and the energy. What I mean by that is like, a lot of people do have my number, even though I changed my number for the first time in 20 years. A lot of people again have my number, but like when you guys are out there running, bro, you have my number. Yeah. So if some shit's going on with you or whatever, you're gonna hit me up. Like I'm gonna be the first person that you probably think of, like, oh shit, like I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. You're gonna hit me up. I care about you already, though. We only known each other for so long, but I appreciate you as a person, as a man, though. So it's like, if you hit me up and you tell me you're not feeling well, you're feeling dizzy, whatever, I'm gonna go fucking find you. And I have that eventually connection with a lot of people. My girlfriend, she's gonna be around the 100K. I'm maybe nervous as shit. Like yesterday, like I say, Carnage, bro. A lot of people were like, the fucking trail. So now I have a lot of people that I care for that are out there. So I can only do that so many times a year, bro. Yeah. If I do that every month, bro, I'm gonna be spent, bro. Like I'm gonna be like.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot of energy.
You have to put energy. You at a good pace, so I can bring the energy to you guys. Yeah. But that's the beauty of like the ultra world, man. I'll share this real quick. We could probably talk for hours, but this kid, he does mainly road. He ends up jumping on the side. Someone on social media jumps in, tries to do a 20-mile loop. Then they all get to him, and a bunch of others got to Bernasconi. And that's really what a lot of people drop. Now you're there with Chris. Now you're drinking some freaking cold sodas. You're on the shade. Life is good. Am I gonna step up? Fuck that shit. So all these people, they were not gonna continue. But this other guy, Jose, not that Jose that you probably seen. This other Jose Villarreal, I think is his last name. He pumps them up and says like, I'm gonna do a second loop and whatnot. And he pumps them up and they all get up, and it was the funniest thing because they're all like, now it's like this little crew. Yeah. They hydrate and they all fucking go out to the sun. And then they went on to finish. So that's the cool thing with the event too, that you're gonna meet people that are like, not that are gonna drag you down. You're gonna get people that are gonna uplift you, bro.
Yeah, like the way I'm so excited for this race. I mean, I just can't wait. I don't know what's gonna happen. And how you said, lower your expectations, right? I promise you, whatever my expectation is for Ultra, I never meet it. I never meet it. I never exceed it.
Too many variables.
It's too many things. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. Right. Man, it's like you said, you don't know. But I like everything that you just said, especially right there, how you said, you do want to marry her. Yeah. This will be your first time being married. You already learning that, okay, if this is the person I choose to be with, then I have to put her as a priority, even over the other things that I love in my life. So, like you said, even your kids, when you marry her, like she has to come first, God first, and of course, then her. So I love all that. We had some great conversation today, but I want to ask this question before we end. Because we talked a lot about your brand, Machete. We talked a lot about that. We talked a lot about your upbringing, the races, the community. But as like Victor, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Still running ultras, though.
Okay.
Probably on the fitness bar. In life, obviously living.
You see yourself married?
Oh, yeah, cool. Oh, yeah, that's not going to be 10 years.
Cool. I'm trying to come to the wedding, too.
No, that's just... It's funny because I told Victoria that, like, I guess my goal, if I was going to be married, is going to be about 45. But then she thought, I was like, why is there, like, a specific number? And I just told her, like, look, I have, like, gray hair. I'm pretty confident. I feel like, man, I put on a suit. We went to her niece's wedding the other day. Yeah. I feel like I still look pretty fucking good. Like, and I said, I'm going to freaking marry when I'm old as shit. Like, fuck that. So, no, it's like, you got to do things right from what you learn. Yeah. So I want to see myself, like, marry. We're all bored on another chapter as far as kids. We would do it with that. Yeah. We'll be being I guess, nothing specific, but marry, definitely. and at peace, man. And I'm at peace now, for sure. There's nothing, I don't have nothing to prove when it comes to fitness. Career-wise, pretty established on that. On the financial areas, it's hard where we live and everything. But now, like I said, I do have a home in Mexico now that my parents retired, and they were pretty much, they were like the what do they call it, like the contractors, basically. They were the ones handling all of that, which is a lot of work. They help a lot with that. And that's just basically so my families have another option to, whether it's visit or go for longer. My parents retired and went over there. So I think that would be the goal, man, like when you see yourself farther. But I also, like I said, it's very common to think, like, what's your 5-year plan? What's your 10-year plan? But honestly, like, I think now I'm looking at more like, what's my next week plan? What's my what's my 2-week plan? Because yes, you have to know where you're going. Otherwise, how the fuck are you gonna get there? Like, if you don't know where you're going, or you don't know what's the ultimate thing. But I also think it's like that we do get caught up too much on those long term. But it's like, what about the next year? You're gonna, it can be miserable, so you could be happy in 10 years. Like, I mean, what are you gonna do in the next year? And that's kind of where like I'm focusing, and it will be like you just talked about foundation. I feel like the next week, the next month, those have to be foundations, so that, like, if, God willing, we make it that far, 10, 20, whatever, then that's where we'll be, you know what I mean? And definitely learning from a lot of things, man. And it's interesting that, like, I just had this thought yesterday, because, like I said, being around me during my events, bro, for your partner is not easy. I'm all over the fucking place. I don't know if you call it, I don't think it's like really the stress, but it's just a lot going on. And then just that way, your attention span, the way I don't talk back to Victoria. I respect her, but you definitely under a lot of pressure. Deadlines, things to do. There's a lot going on. So I definitely think that I had this thought yesterday that was like, even with the lake, we had a great relationship. Nobody has ever done trail races there. But if, like, just like they allow Spawn to do a race, but they don't go into the upper, they just stay at the bottom. But if, like, I wouldn't do this, like, I wouldn't go to another race director's venue and fucking try to put another race. But it potentially could happen, all the damn work that I done, somebody's just gonna come and, I think about those. But then I also thought, like, if there was any kind of way for, like, I wasn't allowed to do them there anymore, or I just didn't want to do them for whatever reason, even outside of my control, I'd be fine with it, man. Because it's like, I've done what I've done, but I can't let even my home brand define me. For so long, my brand was everything. It's like a walking billboard. My brand is me, and it's all the people that can identify. But no longer is that even it's not the most important thing either. And that's good to have, because if you think about it, whatever is your favorite type of music or your favorite sport, you have athletes, you have artists that many times they struggle once that's over. Once the music is off, they struggle because they don't know what to do with themselves. And I think that's where I'm leaning towards, like, probably in the time frame where, like, I don't know that my kids would want to continue this stuff. I don't know, and I don't think that anybody could continue that way. I'm me. That races me. Like most places, those bigger races where you go, like, who's the race director? Who's that? You have people doing jobs, but, like, is that person? It's like I can guarantee you that
they're not giving out their numbers.
And because it makes sense if it gets too big. But at the same time, it's like the day of the 100K. You're gonna see me out there, though. You're gonna see me out there in a different place. Some people trip out sometimes, because then I'll take the damn e-bike and then I'm at the bottom and I start climbing up, and you see me at 1.0. And you're just on your own little head. Blah. Next thing you know, like, I'm already at 2.0 when you get there. Like, what the fuck? Like, and I've done many races. It's rare that I ever seen any race directors there. It just takes a lot of work. Like yesterday, here you go. You guys go take off and run. Have a great day. We already have the water. Chris is taking care of the aid station. We're going to chill here. I don't really drink anymore, but yeah, it sounds like a freaking hot. A beer sounds good. Boom. That's amazing. I didn't get to do that until 8 p.m. So it's like, because I was out there, and I'm like, how do I find myself up here now? Now I have to get down there. My freaking feet hurts. So it just takes a lot. So I'm just thinking, like, I mean,
and that's what separates you.
I guess.
I think it's, like I said, behind the brand, you're just an amazing individual. Like I said, I met you 4 months ago. And we click right away. And so everything that you stand for, man, I think it's amazing. I think everything that you're doing with the community, bringing people to ultra running. If people want to challenge, do ultra marathon. And I'm talking about 31 miles is definitely a challenge. And once you get to 50 and up, it's a whole different beast, because 50 could potentially, depending on the course, it could take you 18, 20 hours, depending on the course. And so your race, you're given 30 hours to do 62 miles, right? So I already know it's brutal, because most races, 62 miles, they may give you 17 hours, 18 hours. So that just tells like the brutality of your race. But no, I think it's amazing, because you make yourself personable. I mean, people is gonna watch this and they're gonna say, man, he's a really cool guy. They're gonna go, I mean, even if you go on your page, you could tell how much you care, how much you carry yourself. So it's something I definitely respect. Man, it's been an honor having you here. This episode is going to drop before the race. I'm thinking early April. So it's going to be out there. I know the race is probably going to be sold out by then. It's definitely going to be sold out. But man, I'm excited. Is there any last things you want to say? Like anything that you want to leave the audience? Tell them where they could find you. And all that, just in case, you know, they want to come volunteer, they want to come check you out, and all that.
Well, definitely. I think as far as how to define us, though, it's like everything is public. We have anything you click, anything you type, Machete Madness, Machete Trail Madness, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, anywhere, our website, machetemadness.com. It's very easy to find. And then as far as what I want to tell people is like, not just like my brand, but just like community. I think that our ultra community is freaking amazing. Because again, we're doing really hard stuff. So and it takes, most people that are arriving in what we do, it's not by accident, though. Something's driving you there. And then you can get involved in many ways. One thing is for sure, we had like a group of girls yesterday that they have like a female hiking group running, but mainly it's like a lot of hiking. And they do see our stuff, and they see some of my friends are doing 200 miles. It can be intimidating. They think that all these people are elite and everybody's hard. And so I would say, you know, come check it out. Maybe even volunteering. You without the volunteers or without the support, people can't finish these races alone. Like, you know, like one of the biggest things that came out of like Dia de los Muertos is like our Bernasconi, both aid stations, but Bernasconi is because you're more, the people that were out there, those were that doing the 100, 200 miles. So you got people that are deeper into the water at that point. And they talked about Rocky, Lorena, Chris. They just talk how amazing they were, and then everybody else too that just the volunteers. And maybe if it's not even for you right now, like just come and support. Maybe if you never even want to do a race, but if you want to just witness some like
the day is amazing. I've never been to an ultra race where I didn't feel a community. Everybody's there to help you. Like, hey, what do you need? I got you. Like, I'll fill everything up. Like, do you need ice? Do you need food? Like, what do you need?
They're there to help you.
Exactly.
And it's hard too, because when I done crewing, pacing out of many big races, like the last 2 years I've been at Cocodona. I also did, we paced my friend Lorena at AC 100. And a lot of those races are brutal though. For AC 100, after we saw her, I think it was mile 10 or 11, whatever, me and Victoria and then Rocky, dude, we had a freaking drive around fucking Palm Desert. I don't know where we went though, but it was 2 hours later. We drove around because of the road closure in the area. We freaking went there, and then that night, I paced her for 20 miles. 4 a.m, we drive back to the other fucking area. No, dude, some of these things are brutal, dude. So like crewing and pacing, it's like integral part of races. So just get involved. I mean, but I think that the last thing I want to say and wrap this up with is like, out of all the freaking medals, like I show you some, I have a box, dude. I have like a lot of them. Out of all the personal achievements, my own success with my own brand, like, bro, what I would take with me is this, like meeting people like you, and I don't fucking say that. Believe me, I don't say shit just to say because you're in front of me. You know, I just wouldn't say nothing. I'm not gonna be a dick and say you suck. But I don't know how to explain it, bro. There's some people that just genuinely people. There's people that have agendas for other things, and I can say from like people around my circle, from Chris, dude, it's an amazing dude. Rocky, Jose, you know, of course, Victoria, number one, dude. Like anyone around me, dude, I feel like, man, the biggest value that I think I bring is my fucking connections, bro. My circle, that's the biggest value I bring. Like if you meet some of my friends, including you, dude, you win. I should be charging you for meeting my friends.
No, for real.
People suck, bro. There's like weird ass people. There's people that are negative.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest thing. So I would say surround yourself with like, you know, anything that you see that you want to be inspired to be like as a person. Again, to me, you could podium at my race. And I don't really see it. Honestly, everybody's chill, man. Everybody's good. But if you could podium at my race, be this. But if you're just not a good person, dude, like I could care less, dude. I don't respect that.
Exactly.
I respect more how you are, and even myself, dude. Like I mean, I can't evaluate myself. You like to think that you know you're a good person, but like God knows, like I've probably done fucking stupid shit. I've done things that I'm not too proud of, whatever. But I do have the desire to be a better person.
Yeah.
And hopefully leave a legacy that my kids can speak proudly of their father.
Absolutely.
Basically, that's the biggest thing, man.
Absolutely.
And that's
I remember I heard a man say, he said, the greatest compliment, the greatest success I ever, he was like 70 or 80, I've ever achieved in my life is that my kids still want to be around me. And they speak positive about me. So I think that's amazing. I know after this 100K, you have your 200-mile race. That's in October, end of October. I'll be volunteering at that one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that one this year, but next year I'm eyeing that one because I do want to do a 200-mile race. So I'm really eyeing that one. I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Even though we did a podcast together before it was yours, now I really got to know who you are, and more of your background story. I didn't know a lot of the stuff you told me today, so very interesting. I could definitely see why you are the way you are today. And again, man, thank you so much. And yeah, I'm coming after your race.
Yeah, man, and just to add the last thing about you volunteering, just know anybody volunteering is a different kind of volunteering because especially someone like you, you would have done the 100K. A lot of volunteers, this guy Cisco, who on his own, he did 200, 300 miles around Mount Rubidoux, a friend of mine. He's doing that 200. When people like that can do that, he pays Ramiro for his last lap at the 200 mile. So I will probably have you help out, volunteer, but I will have you run with somebody on the 200 miler.
Oh, I'll be down.
That's a unique experience, bro, because now you're going to run with someone that has been out there for 180 miles, 160. Obviously, the person has to run with the person, but believe me, a lot of these people, they show up with no damn pacers for 200 milers.
I know, that's insane.
But yeah, like I said, I'm sure we'll do it again. We'll do something else.
I'm definitely going to have you back on the podcast.
It's definitely a conversation with us. I do feel that too. Like, I mean, from the first time we talked, I've never met you.
Yeah.
It's just different. Like, I think you do create bonds by like talking, and that's one thing that we don't do as much. We don't talk to each other. We'll comment on Facebook, but we don't
Twitter thumbs.
We don't get to know each other. But yeah, definitely a pleasure, man. It's been a while that like I said, that I even go back, but I thought it was important, man, because I know for a fact that one of the things that always drove me was that you'll be surprised how many people can relate to you. And better yet, if you're like in a better space in your life, and then you can give someone hope. Like, I'm not in a good spot right now, but I can be better.
Exactly. I appreciate that, man. Machete Madness everywhere. You can find it on Google, YouTube, Instagram, and we're out. Your race is in about a month. Let's do it.
Hell yeah, man.
And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching the Kevon Lee Show. And remember, it does not matter. Keep striding forward.